All right, we're back. We're live and in control of our own destiny here. All right, come on. Good enough. Stop shaking. Thank you very much. All right, we've got 2 people here already. Thanks for stopping by, guys. There is the link. So if anyone wants to join in, you're welcome to. Now that we have control, please don't touch that dial. I am in total control of your picture as you see it right now. But anyway, if you guys want to continue talking, whatever, I got to find some more cards to go through while we're talking and sorting, separating Hall of Famers from very good players. Not quite Hall of Famers, unfortunately, for them. So we'll let the room populate. Oh, we're down to 1 person, but that's all right. They'll probably be back. Let me grab a box. I got to get it empty. Where did I put my empties? They're in here. No, they're out. All right, got an empty box here so I can put these cards in. So, who all's here? Don't be afraid. Type something in the chat. That's what it's all about. I'm not seeing anything on my YouTube stream, so it has to be in the StreamYards here. Yep. There we go. Jeff Nickel, how's it going? Last reps. Welcome back, guys. So, interesting conversations there with Pepino Man. And Lou Rock. There. And just going to continue with whatever. Right now I'm putting these cards that I sorted out while chatting with those guys. I went through a 3,200 count box and separated out the Hall of Famers from fan favorites. And now I'm going to rebox them up in the proper boxes. Hey, Kevin Miller. There you are. Again, there's the link for the chat. If you guys want to get in and chatty, we can chat. Talk about whatever. Right? Let's see. Hey, Lee H., how's it going? Criterium Racer. Let's see. Things are good. Just popping in. Okay. Let's see what else. What's going on here? T-Bone 385. What's going on? How was your guys' Saturday? Did you guys see my flea market recap video? I'm sorry, the camera's like seeing my chin move. There we go. A little bit better. My flea market recap video. Basically, I took only a very short video while there, so I didn't even post it. Mainly because it's so hard to record with your stinking phone in your hand and flip through, you know, a 3,200 count box of cards. So I just kind of gave up halfway through not even halfway through the box. I gave up. All right, let me do one more thing. All right, we got someone wants to come in. Who's this? Last Raps. All right. Add him to the stream. There we go. Last Raps. How's it going?
Not too bad. Boomslang, hang tight for just a second here. I need a pretty good.
Yeah.
Just give me a second here.
Yeah. Get set up. That's cool.
I got better view anyway. Let me see here. Where is my other camera? Let's do this one. There we go. So now I'm looking at a bunch of cards. There you go. How's things?
Good. Can't complain, right?
Excellent. Yeah. So I just figured I'd pop in. I was going to do a live stream tonight and call one of the games, but over in the Japanese league, but unfortunately my time got tied up and I wasn't going to make it back in time. So that's the way it goes. So speaking about Japanese baseball, I picked up a card today. Oh,
Japanese baseball player at the flea market. I've been meaning to get one. It's just been hard to really find any.
Oh, I can't see that one. Sadaharu.
Sadaharu.
What make is that one?
I don't know.
Particular card. A little bit of I can see a bit there. It says Monarch something on the bottom.
King Kong. Yeah, it's
like a tobacco
road series. 14 Monarch Corona.
I'm not familiar with that. I mean, it says
1980. I guess that was his last playing year. Someone said.
Sounds about right. Yeah. The obviously with all the English on the back, it's probably a North American product, I would think. Normally, the Japanese product around that time that I have, whether it be the Calbee or the pretty much the Calbee stuff, is all in Japanese script.
Okay.
And very, very, very little. Some stuff, very, very little of our script that would be on it.
Right.
But yeah, that's
like the first one. So I'm pretty happy with it. Yeah, I paid $10 for it, but
we got the right guy. That's for sure. He's a legend over there, and he's over 800 home runs lifetime, and it's pretty cool. So yeah,
868 round trippers.
Yeah, it's not bad.
And he started as like Babe Ruth. He started out as a pitcher in 1959.
It's true. They have that high school tournament every year in Japan, which is absolutely massive. And the top high schools go and they play at the Koshin Stadium, which is in Osaka. That's the home of the Hanshin Tigers. And so the Hanshin Tigers.
That's what Ichiro's doing right now, right? He's over there coaching those high school teams probably in that tournament.
I'm not. They have their own stuff, but I'm not sure exactly what Ichiro is up to. Obviously, he has a job, and not Roberto Alomar these days. But unfortunately for Robbie, Ichiro is he is over there doing some instruction. But the high school tournament is the annual. It's kind of like I think of a state championship for baseball anywhere in the States, right? So. There, it's for the entire country that they're playing for the championship. So if you take all the best high school teams out of California and Florida and Texas and all across the United States and put them into a tournament where they do it over the course of 2 weeks, and they get themselves a national champion, how cool would that be, right? And they play in front of sellout crowds every game, and it's absolutely insanity, right?
It's a little more fanatical over there than we are here in the States.
100%, and it's unbelievable. So I had a chance to get to the Baseball Hall of Fame in Japan a couple of years ago.
Okay, cool.
And it was pretty neat. There were obviously it's the Japanese players are there, but the one a person that was really given a lot of props, an American that was given a lot of props was Lefty O'Doul in the and he's enshrined in their Hall of Fame, and he was I believe the manager of the San Francisco, was it Spiders, the old Pacific League? And so this is going back, back for years. And of course, before the war and after the war, he was very instrumental in trying to help grow the game in Japan. And they had a lot of respect for him, and they basically inducted him into their hall. He had influenced big time a lot of the Japanese game.
Okay, that's cool.
So, but you'd be surprised at how many American players have gone over there over the last 45 years, and have either extended their career or have created a career or have salvaged a career. It's like, I think of guys like Miles Mikolas, who came back to the St. Louis Cardinals a couple of years ago, and that was pretty crazy, right? So yeah, I see Kevin Miller asking.
Yep, Kevin Miller's asking a question. What's your favorite card in your collection? Oof. I don't have it down here. I don't think, but it's got to be one of my Mantle cards. So that's Mantle's my guy. But you don't find his cards that often anymore out in the wild like I used to when I was younger. We used to find them at flea market. I would pick them up for $10 in the flea market, no problem. Mantle cards. So, but nowadays, is what it is. So I would say just one of my Mantles, but I don't have a Mantle rookie, so I'm not going to have nothing like that. I've got some 60s Mantles up until 68. Not a 69 even. I have a 68. So
as for me, I don't I always say I don't really collect the cards. We buy the cards, but we use them as part of our business. We give them away to the kids that come to our programs, so our instruction, our camps, and our clinics. And so, do I have cards? I got tons of stuff, but basically, it's been purchased to give away. And so, we do sell some of the higher end product that we have, and I've got all kinds of stuff. But probably for me, the item that is most what I would say important to me. In 1997, the Detroit Tigers had a game against the Baltimore Orioles, and they were going to honor Lou Whitaker and Alan Trammell. And so I had tickets with my parents. We were going to go to the game, and they gave away posters, and it was a poster of Trammell hitting and fielding and Whitaker hitting and fielding, and they were huge. And so got the posters, and in about the last 10 years, I was able to get Trammell and Whitaker to sign the poster. So I've got it framed on my wall. And it's really slick. It was a black poster, and we got the frame, and it really pops pretty cool. And so that's probably what I would say my most favorite piece of baseball memorabilia. And we're not looking for a resale on it because it's hanging on my wall, but it'll probably go to the grave, or I'll go to the grave and it'll still be hanging on the wall somewhere. But it's a really neat little piece, and it's I don't know if it's worth much other than the fact that the autographs would make it more valuable, but it's valuable to me, so that's what's important.
Right.
Yeah.
So you do the game board stuff, right?
Yeah, we do the stuff with the digital cards. It was kind of funny because the digital stuff, that game's been out for about almost 10 years now. 2012 or 2011 was the first year. And so it started just as fun because it's interactive. Yeah, you could collect the cards, but there's also a game component. And when Topps first began that game component with the digital cards, you were able to put the cards into lineups so you can collect points while the games are going on. And then what would happen is you could actually win physical prizes. So during the playoffs about 3 years ago, they had an autographed Mike Trout bat, and you could win stuff with those digital cards that you were using to play in the games, right? So there became a market value for the cards. And if you ever go onto eBay and you just type in Topps bunt and 2021, then there could be as many as 10,000 cards up for sale, digital cards on eBay, and people will sell them and transfer them and whatever they do with them and all the rest of that stuff. And we've done that, but we haven't done any of that recently. It was a bit frustrating when we played around with it, because people would buy it and say, well, how come I didn't get the real card? And you're going, well, I've spelled it out for you in the description. But now there's all kinds of stuff up there. There's, as I say, you probably could see 30,000 cards over the last however many years that are just listed at one time for it. So, yeah.
Okay. So James, you saw my question there for you, James Gip. Yeah, I had this auction and James bought this card, and you know, one card and shipping was $4, and he only paid, you know, he paid everything. I just don't know if he wants me to ship this or not. Or wants me to hold on to it, because he never said hold or anything in the on his PayPal. So let me know, James, if you're still here. What you want me to do? If you want me to pop it in the mail, then I think I need your address too. So you can find, here's my email address. That's my email address. So James, contact me via email so that we can either hold this or ship it. Because I mean, I don't mind holding it. Everyone else has said hold their stuff, so I've not mailed out anyone yet. They said hold for the next auction, so that's what we're doing. Okay, yeah. Let's see. Jeff Nickel didn't have a question, but he says he's working on cataloging cards. Just updated my 2018 and 19 Topps dupes. Yes. So there you go. I just showed my one pack out in Pepino's live chat. I was waiting for the Harold Baines 88 Fleer to take off so I could offload them, but it's even worse than that. I've got this stack of Earl Hershiser's, right? And it's absolutely everyone is Earl Hershiser. I know that
Oral.
Oral Hershiser. So there's like 200 of them here. You know, I'm waiting for that one to take off too, so I can start selling these. There's got to be, you know, at least 1 or 2 10s in here. You know, I'll just sell them raw though, right? So that's what happens when I buy these lots. I end up with literally 900 of 1990 Dunruss Hershiser cards. Literally like one whole row in the box, all 1990 Hershisers. And the next row next to it was all Eric Davis from 1990 Dunruss. So 2/3 of the box was 2 cards. That's it. It's crazy.
So let me ask you this, Boomslang, if I may. I always say when you have everything that you want, what do you really want after you've got everything that that you need?
Well, yeah, for me, you know, I don't know. I collect what catches my eye. This caught my eye today, and I've been actually looking at Japanese baseball cards because it's something that's unique. I like finding the things that catch my eye. You know what I'm saying?
Well, there's three. Back to that. There's 3 different ways, or 2 different companies that produce cards right now in Japan. And there's also the potato chip company, which is when you buy potato chips, you get the Calbee cards. And Calbee is a brand of potato chips, and they put the packages right on the cards. And normally during the season, you get 2 cards per pack. And sometimes in the off season, when it's the national team, you get 1 card. And so basically the 2 companies that are in Japan, they're called Epic and there's BBM. BBM stands for Baseball Magazine. So Epic, they're actually, when you think of the board games, I can't think of one off the top of my head, but I would assume something like, say, Risk or something. I don't know who makes that. Maybe it's Hasbro. But Epic is a board game manufacturer, and they do the baseball cards for Epic. And it was funny.
Here.
I'm sorry, what was that? That was
kind of like Classic does here.
yeah, kind of like that. And so
They do the board
Epic,
games.
right? So Epic, it was actually kind of ironic because when I was in Japan in 2018, where I was staying was right across from the I guess you want to call it the headquarters or offices to Epic, and I didn't even know it. I would just happen to stumble and I'm like, Epic baseball cards. So anyways, I end up literally knocking on the door, and I get a Japanese fellow who speaks very little English, and I say, hey, the baseball cards, do you guys make them here? They actually produce them in China. So they do all the pictures, they do all the stuff, and they offload it over to China. I'm like, of course you do, right? The Japanese are even farming their stuff out to China now.
Yeah.
So it was interesting because that's they do their stuff, and the way that they do their sets, it's fascinating because they're very regimented, very organized. The set comes out, they have a flagship set. So Epic's flagship set is one set, kind of like Topps used to do going back 25 years ago, where it was one set. And they have each team. And then when the teams are laid out, because they have the Central League and the Pacific League, what happens is you've got the each team based on the order of finish. And then they always do the manager first. Then they do the starting pitchers. They do the relief pitchers. And then they do the catchers, the infielders, the outfielders, and the rookies. And then you get to the next team. And so every year that I've got stuff in the last 7-8 years of Epic, they do the same layout to the set the same way every single year. So it's fascinating the way that they do that. And then of course, then they have a team card and they have some inserts. They haven't really got on the craze that North America has had with the parallels, the inserts, and all that other stuff. It's coming, but it's just a little bit behind. The other company is called BBM and Baseball Magazine. So there's CV Baseball Collector's got a question. We can jump in.
Yeah, he wants to ask you. You think Sweet Lou Whitaker is going to be getting in the Hall of Fame?
I hope he would, but I think his time has passed because they went to the Veterans Committee, that new thing that they can vote guys in a couple years ago, and Lou was on that ballot and he didn't get in. And I think
that was probably the Modern Era Committee, and then there's a Veterans Committee. So there's a couple committees that can go through yet, but yeah,
I think he missed out on that one. That's the Modern Era one, and so it would be the Veterans Committee down the trail. And it's too bad because when you look at his numbers compared to others, I mean, he's behind Joe Morgan if you use Joe Morgan or Bobby Doerr as sort of benchmarks, but he's still better than a lot of the second basemen that were out there, right? He's got to be in that next tier down. And if you're letting Harold Baines in, a guy who's a designated hitter who really didn't play a position for the majority of his career, then you got to start looking at why is Dale Murphy not in there, or why is Lou Whitaker not in there? And then you've got some of these other questions that arise, right? So I would like to see Lou in, but I don't think he's going to get there.
Well, Baines was voted in by his peers, but also La Russa had a lot of input on that. He played for La Russa. La Russa touted him up. I saw a video on him where they interviewed Tony, and Tony was trying to justify, everything that Harold Baines did. And obviously, he's a better baseball player than I will ever be. But then you can't say, well, he's a designated hitter because what's his name? Martinez from Seattle started out as a third baseman, but became a designated hitter. They all started out as position guys, and then it became DHs. So primarily, he was a DH too for a lot of his career. Edgar was, and made it in. Of course, he was a great hitter, though. You got to give him that. Edgar was always a very good hitter.
It's interesting because it's I was having a conversation with Matt Hollis the other day, and Matt and I were talking about should again, back to the Harold Baines, should Baines be in there? We said, well, when you think about if everybody was playing with National League rules and the pitchers were hitting, where are some of these guys going to play? You obviously try to find a spot for them, whether it be left field or first base or those type of things. But it's crazy, right? It's different.
What are my thoughts on that? Well, it's crazy that the sports cards exploded over the last year. And just I don't know what's driving it. I think the whole Gary V thing, and getting athletes involved, these high dollar investors, buying their own cards or buying whatever cards. There's a couple theories to that, that they're buying them to drive the prices up. In other words, I'm going to auction off one of my cards, and you, my rich buddy, I want you to buy it. I want you to buy it at a high price. So then we can take that card and we can re-auction it, and someone else is going to pay a little bit more for it. So that's one theory. And the other theory is that there's, just like the housing market, we talked about this earlier tonight on the Pepino Man show, that like everything else, everything goes up, they got to come down. There was the whole crash during the junk wax era, and now it's a different version of junk wax era, where they're not overproducing themselves out of the business, they're overpricing themselves out of the business. Same way with these card grading companies. Some of them people are not gonna pay the prices. They're paying it now, but they're not going to continue to pay these prices. Not $75 a card, not a $5 card, and you're going to pay $75 for it to get it graded and not get a 10. And you're not getting any of that money back. That money's gone. It's that $75 is pissed away, and the grading company doesn't give a crap because they got your money. They're not going to reimburse you. Like I asked the guy, I said, when I submitted mine, he said, well, what happens if some of these autographs come back as not legit, like counterfeits or whatever you guys term them as? Do I get my money back? And he's like, no. I said, well, isn't it good business to give me part of my money back or give me credit towards a future submission? And your money's gone. It's gone. So
they haven't done that up here yet. I see, with Walmart. In fact, I was in there tonight. I stopped in after our practice tonight, and I poked my head in to see what they had, and there was obviously nothing on the shelf. You basically got to haunt the Walmarts here north of the border, and I'm keeping my eyes open for the Bowman, and that's what I'm looking for, because whenever the Bowman hits, I want to try to be able to get what I can get. And as I say, we use it to give away to the kids. We don't give away the high end stuff usually. Like I pick up I'll pick up a little bit of chrome or Bowman chrome or just the regular Stadium Club chrome. But the reason for that is that it just can't, we just can't justify giving what I would call more higher end cards away to the kids. We want to get them excited, but we have to keep cost conscious too on what we're purchasing to give away.
Right.
Yeah. But they haven't started doing that yet, but I'm sure that's going to follow suit. They have started to announce that they're putting cameras, and they say this is a high end area. This is, we're monitoring this with cameras because there's been a lot of theft. People are walking in and walking out with the boxes, right?
Or they're ripping them up. They're putting them in a cart. They walk around the store. They rip it open, and then they bring it back. They take out what they want, and then they put it back on the shelf.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, I've gone there and I've seen ripped open boxes, and I'm like, oh, look at this. Every pack has been ripped open, shoved back in there. They pulled out the inserts, put them back, and just tossed it on the shelf. So, Josh Hammonds. Well, thank you. I'm glad you found me, Josh. And let's see. So, yeah, they're talking about limiting the supplies, and it's been in effect here now for a week or so down here south of the border. And I can't find any still in my stores. My wife went to Target, got lucky and found some boxes for me, so they picked them up. I went to a Target in the next county over and found the box of 2020 what was it? I think it was 2020 Heritage. I can't find it right now. I mixed up my rack. My wall of wax has been mixed up. And it was 2020 Heritage, and I picked it up, and it was a hobby box. I didn't notice that at first. I just thought it was a retail box. And I went up to the checkout, and it was like $120. I'm like, whoa. So when I asked people when I got home with it, and they're like, it was on 85, $95. I mean, even Target jacked the price up on me from what it normally sells at their stores. They jacked it up on me. I was already at the checkout, and I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna put it back now. I guess I just looked at my wife and I went, and she gave me the same like, what? I'm like, all right. So yeah, when I haven't found anything in over a year. That's the first time we found something in like a year here in New Jersey, in this particular part of Jersey where I live. Let's see what else is going on. Did that. Target's calling the cops. The Card Master. Ronnie. So Ronnie, guys, the Card Master 1212 is a friend of mine. He's a fellow YouTuber, and he sets up a table or two at the flea market, kind of one of the local flea markets, about a half-hour drive for me, maybe a little bit over to get there. I haven't been up there at all in a while, but Ronnie sells the blaster boxes and stuff like that too when he gets and stuff like that, or whatever he gets his hands on, he sells at the flea market, and just a little bit over I'm sure what he pays for it. So he doesn't make a whole lot of money on it, but in a pinch, he's a guy I can go to. But I haven't felt that pinch. I just don't. I can't find it. I can't find it. It is what it is. I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything. Like some guys will be like, or you feel like you're missing the boat on some of these new rookies. I'm like, no. I wasn't collecting when Trout's card came out, when Trout rookie. I wasn't collecting back then, so I missed the boat, but I wasn't at the dock waiting for the boat. So what I mean? I don't have that sense of loss like some people. Like, damn, I had that and I sold it for $10. When it first came out because I didn't know who he was. So it is what it is. I am not, Ronnie. I'm not. You just asked me too. Am I coming to Columbus tomorrow? I'm not, Ronnie. I have nothing planned, but I spent my money today at the Berlin Mart. I only had $60 today. My wife kind of put the little limit on me, $60 today. So, and I'm cutting back on buying wax boxes. Like I have been. My last wax purchase was $335, and I can't sustain that either. I want to collect, but I'm being priced out of the market like a lot of other people are. I don't have endless funds. I have to work. But what I did do something the other day. So my granddaughters played t-ball, and after each game, like one of the parents has to supply a little treat bag, a little snack bag. And so I took some, there went nothing great. It was like 1988 Dunruss, but I got some 1988 Dunruss packs that I just bought from the flea market a couple of days earlier for $7 for the box. And it wasn't quite a full box, but I paid for all the packs. And I had them put like one pack in each of the bags for the kids. And they're looking at it like, what are these? They thought they were candy bars or something. I'm like, no, they're baseball cards. And they're like, oh, cool. Look at it. They're opening them up and they're enjoying. My grandkids know what they were because I've had them over here opening cards with me and stuff too. So they know what they were out the bat. But the other kids had like no idea. Like, but anyway.
That's it. The baseball cards are a great thing because we've used them as a teaching tool for the kids. And, we're in a marketplace really up here where we don't have a major league team. We have the Blue Jays. Well, it's now their high A team. And so the kids it's a market where the game is played, but it's not necessarily well understood. It's almost a shoulder season sport because you've got hockey in the winter. You've got soccer. Well, soccer seems to run all the time now, but it was basically a shoulder season sport, April, May, and June, until people go on summer holidays looking for something to do with their kids. And yet, though, in areas, and we've produced in this area some big-time major league players in the last 20 years, whether it be Justin Morneau or whether it be, Ryan Dempster or Brett Laurie or Jeff Francis, and the list can go on here. Larry Walker's from Maple Ridge. Tyler O'Neill, currently with the Cardinals, is Maple Ridge. And, we've got different guys who've come out of this area. But unfortunately, it's a lot of people who play, they just play. And then there's a huge attrition rate after the Little League at the age of 12. They go off and they do something else, like study math or whatever, which may be a better option at the end of the day anyway. So, yeah.
Yeah, people are camping out. I heard that. That's crazy. It's like concert tickets or whatever, camping out, getting the cops called on them now for loitering and stuff. That's good. And let's see. You see what Bowman Hobby is about $300 and jumbos are at $600. Again, yeah, Ronnie, I won't even touch that stuff. It's way beyond me. And if we keep buying this products at this price, it's going to encourage, like rewarding a kid for bad behavior. That's what we're doing here. If we keep paying these flippers that are charging like 3 times the price of a box, a blaster box or a hanger pack or whatever, they're going to continue to do it, and it's priced a lot of people out. It's priced me out. I haven't bought any of those at those exorbitant rates. I think at the flea market, I bought a box that was 2021 Series 1. That was blaster box for like $25. I don't know where it is. So it was like $5 over or what it would normally sell for. I think, maybe not. Maybe it was only a $10 box. I don't know, but it was bigger than a hanger box. It was like a blaster box. It was a nice rectangular, box. So $25, but
just how crazy this is. I pulled a rookie Fernando Tatis vintage stock card numbered out of 99. That was not the rookie debut, the original Tatis. Mm-hmm. So before I went to Japan in 2018 in December, 2019 in December, before I went the second time, I sold the card with shipping was about $592 US money. Right. And I was like, I'm happy to get it. I'll take the money and I'll buy me a few dinners while I'm overseas, right? Well, I took a look recently on eBay, and a couple of them have sold, and now they're like more than double what I sold it for. They're over $1,200. I was just like, how do I say it? I bought the case for all in with shipping and everything was about $800. So reality of it is it's $500 sales. So, it paid for an entire case of cards basically that we had, passed out most to the kids, right? And so, you're going to hit on something like that. And it's like, wow, great. That's fantastic. And hope that somebody takes that card and enjoys it, right? Or that they are a collector, that they want that. But I'm just shocked that price is more than doubled in a year's time. It's crazy.
Yeah. Usually like they in the old days, they would plateau and that's it. Then they would stay there for a little bit. And then as the season went along, then they would come down and then they would plateau off at a certain point. But even the Nolan Ryan rookie card, which was like $1,600 back in the day, it's come down quite a bit to like half that now. I don't know what it is now, but I mean, it's dropped to a minimum of like half of what it used to be for, and that was old Beckett prices before grading, before all this stuff. Now you throw in the grading and just screws everything up.
And what would you rather have? A Spencer Torkelson autographed card 1 out of 5 or a Nolan Ryan rookie? Like, to me, it's a no-brainer. Why would you want to pay all that money for a Spencer Torkelson who hasn't stepped a day in the big leagues yet? Or I just use him as an example, the first overall pick in the draft last year, as opposed to having, for example, the ability to go and get yourself a Nolan Ryan rookie or another high-end rookie. Not even maybe those guys. Let's look at like a Tony Gwynn or a Ricky Henderson from the the early 80s, as opposed to what you're going to pay through the nose for that. I don't get it. But
yeah, a lot of these guys, what's his name for the Yankees, that young kid they gave all their international money to, $5 million to sign him, like
Jason
last year.
Dominguez.
Yeah.
Jason
so
Dominguez.
his Bowman card was like nuts and lots of money, and then all of a sudden boom, the bottom fell out of that one on. I don't know what it's going for now. Like I don't follow prices or anything like that anymore. I collect what catches my eye. Mostly I'm a Yankee guy, but I won't go out of my way to um, go through a whole box to pick out every Yankee. I pick out of that box what catches my eye. You know, such as O-Pee-Chee. Right. I try to pick up anything O-Pee-Chee. Like here's a Steve Carlton O-Pee-Chee from '84. This was just stuff I picked up today. Some of the stuff I picked up today that I'll be actually auctioning this off in my next auction. All these cards here, which are from my pickups today. Right. So when I do my next auction at the end of this month, they'll be in part of the auction. So, whatever catches my eye, I buy mainly. Like that Serato. I bought this sheet. There was a nine-page sheet and had all these Bowman cards in here, right? Nobody great, Bobby Shantz. He's kind of a local guy. He's the oldest living MVP, right? American League MVP, I believe in 1952. Other than that, like, I don't know, there's not many like names you really know. Joe Adcock, I guess, would be a name I would recognize. That's about it. But
Bobby
it was a
Shantz,
sheet.
I think, was a lefty, was he not?
Yeah, little guy. He's not a big guy. He's a little guy. Yeah.
And was it Bobby Shantz that won? Was he ever with the Pirates?
Maybe when he came up. Let's check his card.
On that there. I'm trying to think of where.
No, I think he came up with the Philadelphia Athletics, because that's his athletics card. One of them, and he played for the Yankees for like 2 years, and ended his career. I know he ended his career. I think he started with Philadelphia Athletics and ended his career with Philadelphia Phillies.
You're correct. Yeah.
Who he played for in between? I know the Yankees. I don't know if he played for anyone else other than those three teams, which is actually
he was a Pirate in '61 and an Astro in '62. He went to the Cardinals. I just pulled him up, and then he was a Cub for a cup of coffee, and then he finished with the Phillies, as you mentioned. Yeah, he had, but he was basically he never had a start after 1962 when he had some with Houston, but not after he got traded to or was acquired by St. Louis. So yeah.
Well, he's a very reliable TTMer. You send him a card, and he does it for free. But I always put like $5 in anyway, because these guys didn't make any money back in that day. They're not $1 million babies or anything like that. They played for thousands of dollars. The big contracts was like $100,000 Willie Mays contract, Mickey Mantle $100,000 contract for a year. I think Babe Ruth had $100,000 contract back in his day. Those were the big contracts. You didn't get $1 million. I wrote to I think I took his book back upstairs. Bobby Richardson. I wrote to Bobby Richardson. Now it's about 2 years ago now, and I asked him some questions. TTM'd him and stuff, and but he sent me his book, and I read his book, and he talked about in the book about his first contract with Topps, right, for baseball cards. They gave him an option, $250 or a colored TV set. You know what he took?
Probably the TV set.
He took the TV set so his wife and mother-in-law can watch the Yankee games while they're at home, and because they live in South Carolina, Sumter. He still lives there from when he was a kid. He still lives in Sumter. But, obviously being a Yankee, they would travel and they would get apartments in North Jersey, not in New York, but in North Jersey, a lot of them. And, so his wife and kids would come up when the kids were out of school, and they would be able to watch the Yankee games on TV. So He took the TV over the money, which I thought was pretty different.
Well, I knew some guys who were in the minor leagues, and they got this is going back into the 70s and 80s, and they used to get you get a royalty from either Topps or whoever would produce the minor league card, and they were laughing about it, and they said because it was some of the times the money was so nothing, right? And what they would do is they would just keep the check just to say that they had the check. They wouldn't even cash it. It was like $1.35 or something like that they would get. And it was like, no, it was more important for them just to keep the check and frame that than it was to actually cash it. It kind of bizarre.
Let's see. I kind of look at buying rookie like a trip to the casino. It is. That's what Bowman's all about. When you talk about the Bowman cards, it's all a gamble. You don't know. Someone talked about the Wander Franco right here. The Wander Franco is another one whose price skyrocketed, and he has not hit a major league pitch yet. He's still down there on the farm.
One thing about Wander Franco that's interesting, Boomslang, is that he's got some pretty good stock from what I understand. I understand his dad, and he had some uncles that played pro ball. And I think he's also related to the Ibars. Remember Eric Ibar? And there was another Ibar. I think Ibar played with the Angels maybe about 12, 15, 14 years ago, approximately. Anyways, there's some bloodlines with that particular player, right? And so, if he was kind of a one-shot deal and, I don't know, maybe like a Gavin Lux or something where he's, first time into the big, there's some pedigree that's in there behind it with Wander Franco. So, I wouldn't write him off at this point. Certainly,
no, I'm not writing him off, but is his card justifying the price? He hasn't
probably not
faced major league pitching yet. It's all a gamble. I mean, I picked up a Wander Franco card the other day. But it's a gamble. But I didn't spend a lot of money on it, so it wasn't like a rookie card, I don't think. But yeah. So again, yeah.
Who would be asking you this, knowing this year's rookie crop that's out there, whether it be through Panini or Topps, if you had to say off the top of your head, if you said, hey, I gave you $200 right now, who would you go out and spend it on? And you could spend it on any of the rookies this year. Who would you want to add to your stable if you had the opportunity?
I don't know. I don't follow the hobby like that. I don't follow the upcoming guys. A lot of people do that because they're speculators.
Yep.
I like guys that are established, the guys that have been here for a while. You don't know, like Tatis has had having a good year. He got hurt last year. How about Vladdy Jr.? All right. Last year he didn't have such a good year. It was a shortened season. This year he's doing a lot better. He dropped like 20 or 30 pounds. That seems to have helped him, but they haven't established themselves. Like, look at Mike Trout. He's established himself, not many guys. Obviously he's the anomaly. He's the guy that, once in a lifetime guy, like the Manos, of course, back then you had a lot of those guys, like the Ted Williams, the Manos, the Willie Mays. You had a lot of those guys in the league at the same time. Hank Aaron's. Here you got Mike Trout, and then there's everyone else. They're starting to compare the Tatises and stuff like that, but dude, they got to play 10 years before they can even think about being in the same category as Mike Trout. The Vladdy Juniors, the Tatises, and whoever else is out there.
Well, you think of a guy a few years ago with the Pirates was Andrew McCutchen, and McCutchen was, at the top of his game. And boy, when he got to, 29, 30 years old, did his game just go boom. Now, I'm glad that he's found a place in Philadelphia that he's playing every day, but he's not putting up the numbers that he was in Pittsburgh. And of course, he bounced around. He was with the Giants and then the Yankees, and now he seemed to have landed in Philly. But
he got hurt last year too, so that didn't help his career either. Now he's, and Trout, but Trout's missed some games through injuries too. Silly ones like sliding, stealing bases and stuff like that, so he was told to cut back on the stealing of the bases. He broke his thumb one time. He hurt his ankle one time. All sliding into bases, stealing bases. So he was told, and it makes sense. If I'm his agent, I'm like, Mike, you're not going to catch Ricky Henderson. All right. Just let that part of your game go. All right. Just focus on hitting home runs. Focus on hitting the ball. All right.
One of the
but don't steal.
One of the young fellows who worked for me and used to play for me was in the Boston Red Sox organization for about 2 or 3 seasons, and he said that they came up with something called the Jacoby Ellsbury rule in the minor leagues, where they didn't want their guys going head first into the bases because Ellsbury dislocated his shoulder going in, and he was really never the same player after he had done that. Anyways, then he went on, he was with the Yankees and whatever else after that, but he was never the same player that he was when he was in his heyday with Boston because of that injury. So they were really frowning upon that to everybody else, right, from doing that. And their
Waxman, you found some Tome's. That box was probably put together, Waxman, before Tomei went into the Hall of Fame. I find boxes like that too, where they got Hall of Famers peppered in with the commons. And actually, because that box was put, filed away as commons before they were introduced into the Hall of Fame. Now, they were still okay players, but maybe they didn't follow the Cleveland Indians or the Phillies when he was there. I've known about Tomei since he was in AAA because they came to Las Vegas when I was living in Vegas, and they came there to play baseball. And I took my 2 little sons to like every home game. And we would go there and we would get into the cheap seats, But after the game, we would wait outside the players' tunnel and get their autographs. I got a bunch of Tomei autographs. One guy who is my nemesis, I'm going to call him, is Pedro Martinez. When he was with the Dodgers, me and my boys were out there, and we'd be out there after every game, right? When we go to the first game, we get a list of like the lineup cards and stuff like that and see who's on the rosters. And then I would go home that night and I'd put some cards together and try to get autographs the next day. And by the third day, because they would come in, they played 3 or 4 games. They wouldn't just come in for, a short stand. They would come in and make it worth the money, the while. He was like in his best broken English. He's not signing any more cards for me. All I'm doing is selling them. I'm like, wait, dude, you're a minor leaguer. You're nothing yet. You're nothing. I'm getting you signed because your brother is in the major league. Ramon, by the way, is your bigger brother. He's like 12 inches taller than you, Pedro, to this day. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because you're on a card with your brother, I'm getting you to sign. And I'm hoping to maybe send to your brother or get your brothers to have both of you on the card. No idea that he was going to become a Hall of Famer, But to this day, he's my nemesis because that's why he treated me in front of my 2 little kids, like they're kids here. They're trying to get your autograph. Like all the Stars guys, there was some dickheads on the Stars team too. Dan Bilodello was one. Like if you would hand him 2 cards, he would take the cards. He would sign one. He'd flip one over on the back, and he'd take that marker, and he put a dot right in the center of the O in Bilodello. So when you handed him that card again, he knows he looked at it once and he didn't sign it, and he wouldn't sign it again because he put his mark on there. There were other guys like Tom Lampkin who thought they were just too great. You ever hear of Tom Lampkin?
I remember the name. Yep. He was a catcher.
Catcher for the Las Vegas Stars. And he did get a cup of coffee up with the Padres. I think he moved around to a couple of teams because that's what they do with these guys. The Padres would call them up, and they'd play them for a while, and then they'd move them on, shuffle them off and see who they can get. Now, they had some good guys. They had John Kruk. They had Tony Gwynn. Who else did they have? Benito Santiago. They did have some nice, good ball players, but Robbie Alomar. Who else was there? Carlos Baerga, I believe, was a Padre coming.
Was. Yep. What about Joe Carter?
I wasn't Robbie. Carter. Sandy Alomar was Not Robbie wasn't there. Sandy was. I don't think Robbie went through San Diego.
Yeah,
He
he was flipped to the Blue Jays in that Carter and Fernandez deal.
okay, okay.
But Carter may not have been down there because Carter originally was with the Cubs. I think that's what we broke in with, and then he went to San Diego, and then he's on to Toronto.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah. So what was your question? You started to say something. I interrupted you.
It's okay. I'm sure we'll come back to it. Oh, I was going to say that was when you were in Vegas. Is that right? When
yeah, I was living in Vegas there for 9 years or so. We lived there.
That's interesting.
So, Miss Play for Fun, talking about Montcastle, I guess. So.
I think that was when we asked the question about what players are the current guys that or the rookies that you go after. So I think Sixto was first. Sixto Sanchez, yeah.
I don't follow it that way. So I do know the Dominguez but I don't even remember his name because I don't follow it like that. Like I know because I'm a Yankee guy that when I heard the story, like, oh my God, I had to check out the video. Who's this guy? And they spent $5 million, all their international money on one guy, one kid, 15-year-old kid. Now he's like 17. And I'm like, okay, 17. Why is he not in the bigs yet? There were guys back in the day at 15 years old. Joe Nuxall was pitching in the major leagues. Why is this kid not there hitting in the major leagues? You know, if he's so great, if he's worth $5 million, he should be there already, as far as I'm concerned. But who am I? I don't work for the Yankees. I'm not in their front office. They wouldn't want to hire me because kid, $5 million, get up there and start earning it. Oh, you can't cut it. Okay. Welcome to the world. Anyway, let's see. He said he didn't need. He said he didn't need. Yeah, there you go. So he didn't need the Jim Tomei cards. Well, that was his loss of your game because Tomei turned out to be an okay guy. A good buy there. What's this saying? I was happy to get Mark Grace to wave at him at the Astrodome. Wow. All right. Well, I mean, yeah, you're always starstruck. I remember, was it not last year, the year before I went. So I live in Jersey now, and the closest team is the Phillies. I'm not a Phillies fan. I'm a Yankee fan. But like on Father's Day or whatever, my son would take me to see the Phillies play whoever. Well, when the Yankees came to town 2 years ago, 2019, I spent like $900. I bought like tickets for like everyone to go. My son, his kids, my wife, my daughter-in-law's grandmother, her dad, her dad, the one nephew. Like I bought a whole block of tickets right down the third base line, right next to the ball girl, right where the field jots out, right there by the foul line. So we're right there. And they're taking batting practice, and they had a freaking screen up, like not an L screen, but a regular like screen, like a big screen there, not the netting that they dropped down. And so none of the balls are coming our way, like nothing. And I'm like, darn, we're not going to get any balls. And then batting practice is over. We watched both teams bat. And then the only one left on the field is Aaron Judge signing autographs. And I swear to you, there were more Yankee fans there than there were Phillies fans this day. It was the third game of a 3-game set. And it was just nuts. My son kept telling me, Dad, don't wear your Yankee jersey because you're going to be, it's going to be bad. It's going to be bad. They're going to spill beer on you, whatever. I'm like, no, they're not. No, they're not. I'm wearing, and just in defiance, I'm wearing my Yankee jersey. And he got there and we were surrounded by Yankee fans. Like, it was nuts. And Aaron Judge is working his way down along the wall, signing. I got my little 3-year-old granddaughter. I'm standing up there on the wall. I'm holding her. I said, here, hold these cards. And we're yelling, Aaron, Aaron, Aaron. And his handler, like he's literally 20 feet from us, and his handler says, time to go. The game's going to start. You got to go. I'm like, son of a... But the ball girl was really nice, and she gave all the foul balls that came her way to all the kids in the area. So, like, my daughter-in-law's nephew got a ball. Both my one granddaughter got it. The other one was a real like little baby, so she didn't get a ball. But my 3-year-old granddaughter got a ball, and she was handing. And there was these guys, and they were Philly guys, and they were whining to the ball girl like, "Hey, I want a ball. Where's my ball?" And get away! You're a grown up. Give it to the kids. It was just terrible that these adults were acting like idiots. But none for. I mean, like again, I'm not a Phillies fan. I know Philly has a reputation, and we just happened to be sitting next to some of these guys that were jackasses. Not everyone was jackasses. Like no one harassed me for wearing my Yankee stuff at all, and it was great. We walked all around the stadium. It's a beautiful stadium, by the way. But yeah, it was interesting, and the Yankees lost. They won the first game, and they lost the game that I went to. I'm like, son of a gun. I had all these Yankee cards. I'm like, I'm getting all these cards autographed, and not one autograph. I brought everyone markers. I mean, I was set. Everyone had some cards. We're going to get them signed. Nothing. No foul balls. The ball girl handed out stuff, though, so that was nice of her. But it was just fun. All experience.
I was going to say, I've been to Philadelphia. I saw a game. It would have been in 1997 at the old Vet. And
I've been to that as a kid, yeah.
Yeah, I saw Kurt. It was, I believe it was 97. It was Kurt Schilling went for the Phillies that night. And it was, who was it? It was, they played Houston, but the only run Schilling gave up was a home run to Bagwell, and it was hit into the power alley in left center field. It was on a line, and it just went like this. It just like took off. And I remember Schilling went 8 strong, and then they brought in a guy named Ricky Bottalico to pitch the 9th inning. No, and he came in to close that off.
He's a
Bottalico. Yeah, it's too bad.
What I hear now again, I went to a card show again before this whole virus thing hit. And he was one of the signers at the show, and he signs for money, but he wouldn't. From what I hear, he wouldn't sign like after the games or anything like that. He wouldn't sign for kids. But if you pay him $20 or $30, he'll sign your ball at a card show. Mike Schmidt charges $250 to sign a card. That's just from a little flat, and it goes up from there.
That's crazy. I know in the I grew up in the Metro Detroit area, and there used to be all kinds of card shows. And of course, when I was a kid, the very first card show I went to was with my dad and a buddy of mine and my mom, and Al Kaline was signing autographs, and it was $3 an autograph. And so, this was probably about 1983, 80, around that time, right before the Tigers had won the World Series in 84. And so, there was the building, the excitement was coming for that team at that time. And he was signing, and a lot of the guys would sign for next to nothing. They used to do shows at the American Legion halls, and there used to be guys. There were 2 big shows that were run. There was Jim Hawkins used to be a reporter for the Detroit Free Press, and he used to run 2 shows a year, or a retired reporter from Free Press. He used to run 2 shows a year at the Plymouth Hilton, and so Plymouth was just outside of Detroit, and they would do a big one on the Thanksgiving weekend and another one. Usually in March or just before kind of spring training would really get going at the end of February. And so those were the 2 times a year that they would do the shows. And then at the Brooks shows were always the old time Tiger guys. So you could always go and get yourself a Ron LaFleur, a Willie Horton, all those type of guys. And they were always reasonably priced. Well, I look at the prices that go on at the National when, they bring in all the players from all over the country. And I'm like, well, you can get whoever you want. But holy man, some of those prices are just like, it's sticker shock, right? It's big city pricing compared to, say, something in the Midwest that you could go and get some of the guys for, I'm not saying next to nothing, but a reasonable pricing.
Hey guys, there's the link to the chat. If anyone wants to join in on the chat, there it is. We can take like one more person in here. That's fine. I don't have a problem. I've actually paid for like 10 people, but it gets really crazy when you get a whole bunch of people in here. I don't know how bad the lag will get, but there it is. If anyone else wants to join in, and see, I have to give it to the kid. Ball story from Chicago was at Wrigley for my 50th birthday to watch the D-backs. Oh, so you had a ball or something you gave to the kid? Nice. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's what kids. How else are you going to get them hooked on the game? You know what I mean? They're busy playing soccer now. Soccer's more popular than baseball, like for kids growing up. It's crazy. Soccer was unheard of when I was a kid growing up. Well, yeah, it was not a thing. It wasn't a thing. It was baseball, football, and if you're in high school, then it's track and basketball. Um, and that's about it. There was nothing else. There was no soccer, at least not where I grew up. And I grew up over in PA, so.
Jeff McMahon says those Plymouth shows were great. Obviously, he's got the Tiger logo in there. I don't know Jeff, but I remember specifically one show in 1987. It was Mark McGuire was signing at the show, and he wanted something like $10 an autograph. So that was the year that he had hit 49 home runs for his rookie year. And so
Okay.
my dad got the McGuire. He bought one McGuire. And he was lamenting it. He was ticked because he goes, I can't believe I'm paying $10 for a guy who hit 49 homers in his rookie year, and I can get 2 Don Drysdales for $5 a piece. And he picked up Drysdale autographs, right? And so, anyways, he's got 2 Drysdales still at home. And the McGuire, we actually got rid of the McGuire when him and Sammy Sosa were going crazy there in 1998, and he made a trade for something else that he wanted. But yeah, those shows were pretty crazy back in the day. There was a lot of great stuff in that area.
Give it to the kid. That's good one. Give it to your son sitting next to you. Way to go, Troy. So talking about autographs, when I was younger, growing up, and well, we were living in Vegas at the time, so I wasn't really young, but I was in my late 20s, maybe. And Mickey Mantle was going to be at one of the casinos at a card show signing, and he was charging $57 for his autograph at a card show. And again,
What year was that Boomslang around?
I don't know what year that was. I lived in Vegas from like 83 through 90. So it was before Mantle died, which was in 85. Is that when he died? 85?
I think it was after that. I think it was. I'll look it up right now. Maybe 95, because if I'm not mistaken, I'll look it up while we're talking.
Yeah.
He passed in 95.
Yeah, 95. So I was there from like the end of 83, early 84 through 1990. And he was charging at the time $57. It was a lot of money. And I was in the military, so I wasn't making a lot of money. And I'm like, I love Mantle, but I'm not paying $57. I'm like, I am not paying $57 for his autograph. To me, it was like, hey, he's overcharging. Come on, be more reasonable. Not the fact that I didn't have the money, because I didn't. So that was my way of kind of justifying, well, I'm not going to be able to afford it, so I'm just not going to get it. And I'm going to tell myself that he's overcharging. And I didn't get it. And to this day, I regret it, because I also like the meet and greet part of it too. The handshake to say, hey, you know what? I grew up, my father talked about you all the time. He named me after you. So I never got to say that, relay that story and how these guys actually impacted you as a kid growing up. And then years later, I had to pay $300 for his autograph, so, strike while you can, I guess. I mean, I didn't have the money. I was young, in there for Air Force, not making a lot of money. I was raising my family there. So yeah, I had to actually end up having to work a second job. It was crazy. It was nuts. So I couldn't really afford to waste that $57.
That price that you dropped it rings a bell of truth, because I remember in Toledo, Ohio, around similar time, I want to say about 1989, 90-ish. Never made it to the show, but Mantle was signing. The word was he was signing. It was like $35 or $40 an autograph at that time. So, if that's 94, 95 when he passed away, I'm sure the prices were only going in this direction. From 89. Yeah.
It depends on the promoters too. This was Vegas, and there were big promoters there that were promoting these shows, and they had a lot of actually big names there.
Mhm.
I went to one where Richie Allen was one, Hoyt Wilhelm was at another one. You know, I didn't go to the Mantle one. I'm sure the ones that had Mays there too. They may have both been at the same show. I don't know. I didn't go, so I regret it. But I ended up paying $300 for one later on down the road. Off of eBay, certified. But I had to have it in my collection. I had to have the Mantle autograph in my collection. So that's the one thing that I can say that I did get, but I didn't do the meet and greet. I've done the Jose Canseco recently, meet and greet. Pete Rose. I met Pete Rose again back in 2019 now. He's a very nice guy, Pete Rose. Like, he's sitting, he'll talk to you, especially the kids. He'll talk to kids. His line was the longest line. We're talking Dave Parker was there. Joe Morgan was there. Tony Perez was there. Who else was there? Perez, Morgan, Rose, and Parker. All four lined up, signing at the same time. And they would do it for a couple hours, and then they bring in another whole lot. Like, this is a pretty big show that they have over at the Valley Forge Casino sometimes, or at the convention sometimes, depending on what's available. Pretty big show in our area. They used to have it like 3 times a year, but obviously they haven't had anything in a while. They keep canceling it. But Pete Rose would sit there and talk to you, and I remember, I like the interaction, the meet and greets. Something you don't get to do during their playing time, most likely, is after they're done playing, and now they all of a sudden have time for the little guy or whatever, and maybe they're not that way, obviously, in real life, but Pete Rose strikes me as a guy who didn't have much time for anyone else except himself. But
I got a Pete Rose autograph from my dad one time, and
Mhm.
Rose was signing, and my dad sent me in. He goes, my dad didn't want to go in. He goes, hey, look, you go into the show, pay the money. I would have been probably 16 at the time, and so anyways, he wanted an autograph, and so I went in, got the ticket, got in line, and I always remember this vividly. Pete Rose signed the ball, and most of the guys would hand it back to you and say thank you or whatever. He literally rolled the ball across the table to me. I thought I was fielding the ground ball. Yeah. All right, thanks, man. I appreciate that. You stay hot, Pete, and I'm out of here.
Mm-hmm.
It was unbelievable, but it is what it is.
I asked him the question. I said, hey, listen, Pete, when you were a kid, if you collected cards, like, who did you collect? Like, who was your guy? Like, and he started to sign my card that I gave him, and he stopped before he started, because I asked him that question, and his head goes up, he looks at me, he goes, baseball cards? We couldn't afford baseball cards when I was a kid. He came from those humble beginnings too, to where he is, So I thought that was just an interesting reaction to him. And I'm like, I have my wife there. I'm like, honey, please record this. Hit the record button on my phone. She didn't hit the record button. I didn't get that reaction from him that, like, the whole head come up and like, we didn't have money for baseball cards. What are you talking about? I was hoping he'd say like, oh, Ty Cobb or whatever. No, he just, we didn't have money for baseball cards. So he was honest about it, at least. And then there was another one where Jose Canseco was there, and dude is still ripped. He's still buff, just like in his playing days. Like, dude was wearing this skin tight polo shirt, and his pythons are just busting out of his sleeves, and he's wearing his hat backwards like he's one of the kids from down the block, just like he never grew up. And tan bronze, because he living in Florida, I guess. And he was sitting at the table, no eye contact with anyone. It was like the eyes down. You handed him the thing, he signed it and slid it back. That was it. Like, no conversation with nobody, no nothing. And one of the guys from my work says he knew a guy who was doing some work and I'm not going to tell this whole story. I'm just going to leave the rest to your imagination, because it's definitely not meant for kids. But he was doing some rework, like upholstering work in Canseco's house in Florida one time. This was years ago when he was still playing. And he says his friend of his father, who was the carpenter there, had to go into the bedroom to kind of tear up the carpet, and he looks under Jose's bed because they're getting ready to move it and all this stuff, and he found a 12-inch. We'll leave a blank there, and it just makes you wonder what the hell Jose was doing with one of those toys under his bed. Like, so he told me to ask Jose. He says, "Hey, do you remember the carpenter that came to your house and he found this?" I said, I was afraid to ask him. I didn't want to get punched in the face, for even bringing it up, because the guy, I saw him. He's buff. He's not like an old guy anymore. He still looks young, and he still looks like he'd kick everyone's ass in the room, So I'm like, nah, I'm not asking that question. Nope. And there was no eye contact anyway. He was like, psh, psh, going. But he was only charging like $28 or $29. So it was like, I get here. But yeah, those are two of my autograph stories in person. So you can't beat it, because these guys, they give you something or they won't. Joe Morgan, who passed away, he was there sitting next to Rose, and they were talking back and forth. They were like kind of like buddies, Tony Perez was not very sociable, but so Tony Perez was down at you can't see my hand movements, but Tony Perez was on the far left as you were standing there in line. Morgan was in the center, Rose was center right, and then Parker was on the far right. And so Morgan and Rose were talking and joking around all the time, and then Morgan would yell something over to Tony, but Morgan was there for like a half hour, and then he disappeared and never came back. He had all these people waiting in line to get his autograph. And so the organizers were like, ladies and gentlemen, for everyone who has Joe Morgan autograph tickets, please come to. I'm like, well, dude said he had to go to the bathroom. Maybe he went to the bathroom, But, we didn't know this, and no one knew this, but he was sick then. So I think something happened then. He had something was going on with him, and he had to leave. Like, he wasn't feeling well, and then to find out a couple months later, he passes away. So, sad. Again, there was an opportunity where I could have maybe got his too, and I just was like, I just want the Pete Rose, He would have signed too, by the way. He signs. I'm sorry, I bet on baseball. I've seen those autographs out there. He would have signed it. Just pay him a couple extra bucks. He would have signed it. And I'm not going to do that to the man, because I think what he did was pretty baseball wise was pretty awesome on the field. Now managing, I used to think that. All right, so he never bet on his team to lose. What's wrong with that? Kinda. It's not like really bad. It's bad, but it's against the rule. But what about all these guys that are taking steroids? And then someone else painted a different picture for me, and now I understand that a little bit more. It's like, you're the manager of the team. You have a doubleheader. Now, you bet on your team to win game one, and no money on game two. Just everything's on game one. And you're not betting on your team to lose, but you burn up your bullpen in game one to win that game that you bet on. Now game two comes around, you got no one left in the pen, and you lose game two. So that's how his gambling could have adversely affected his team anyway. Now, they probably didn't have a ton of doubleheaders, but that's just one way that it was put to me. Like, yeah, okay, I kind of see it. I still would like to see him in the Hall of Fame, but if they start letting the Bonzes and the Clemens and the juicers in, and some of the juicers are already in. I get it. The Bagwell's in. The Piazza's already in. David Ortiz may get in, right? So someone also said it's just a museum. It's not like the Hall of the. I forget what the word the person used, but it's not the Hall of perfect people. It's human beings in there, and they make mistakes. So I want to just let those in that deserve to be in, including like Shoeless Joe Jackson and some of the other guys too.
So Boomslang, who is
Harold Baines in? You let Harold Baines in.
Yeah, who's your best interaction with? Like who would you would say any time that you've
Well, so
encountered? Yeah.
I didn't start that till recently. So like when I was younger, I was afraid to talk to him. Like even Ryan Sandberg, or Hoyt Wilhelm, or Richie Allen. I would just go up there and be like, "Thank you, Mr. Allen." Even Bobby Shantz, like Bobby Shantz. I'm sorry, it's actually Bobby Shantz, by the way. It's not Shantz. We all pronounce it wrong. So the next time I go to, and I found this out. Here's a story that you probably haven't heard this, but other people probably have. Bobby Shantz. Um, um, Signs like for free. He does TTMs and he goes to all these card shows. But this guy that I played baseball with for a couple games of last year, because I retired from playing baseball, he said, "Oh, I used to have lunch with Bobby like once a month. We would have lunch." I'm like, "Oh, really? That's interesting." He goes, "Yeah, and by the way, it's not Shantz, it's Shantz." And he goes, "You know how I found that out? I was over his house one day, like a birthday party or something like that. And all his relatives were coming over, and they're like calling him Bobby Shantz. It's Shantz. They're all saying Shantz, like it's French. Like we bastardize it, and it's Shantz or Shantz." And so when I see Bobby at the next card show, God willing, he's still with us, because he goes to all these shows over there. That I'm gonna impress him. I'm gonna say, "Hey, Bobby Shantz, I want to thank you for all the TTMs you do, things you do for the hobby." Because I sent him letters too, when I TTN'd him and stuff like that, and I always thanked him. "Thank you for what you do for the hobby, and you do stuff for the high schools, the local high schools, with your guest appearances and stuff like that. All the stuff you do for free, I thank you." That's all. That would be my interaction with him. And going forward, I would like to have some kind of interaction. I would like to record it, but I can't trust my wife to press the button. I'm not going to be like, I have these secret spy cameras where I can, I got a camera in my glasses. I can press the button and be like, "Hey, by the way, yeah, you suck," and watch them punch me and break my glasses or something. That would be a reaction. I don't know if that's the one you want, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I'd like to, get their reactions and record it and then play it back on my channel. Like, "Hey guys, check this out." I mean, I have photos of it, but no videos. There's no audio. There's nothing to go with it. So my wife can't press the button. All right, what's going on in chat here? Oh, and I forgot my favorite PNC park for the Pirates. Okay.
I think they're talking about the favorite ballparks that they've been to, or that might be a good question for you, Boomslang. What's your favorite ballpark that you've been to?
I've been to the new Yankee Stadium. I've been to Citizens Bank Park, which is a very beautiful park, even though the Phillies are playing there. I've been to the old vet. I've been to not a lot. I've been to, as far as football, my wife's neighbor back in the day was Bobby Parsons, and he was a punter for the Bears. So I've been to the vet for football and baseball. And I've been to RFK Stadium to watch Army Navy game. Yes, back in '76. That was like my first. I've been to some college stadiums too at Lehigh University. But as far as professional sports, I haven't been to a lot of them. Yeah,
I see that Misplays for Fun says that they really like PNC Park in Pittsburgh. I got an opportunity. I was there in, I think, 2002, and I saw the Pirates play the Giants, and of course Barry Bonds was still playing at that time. It was either 2000 or 2002. I can't remember exactly. And I saw the Pirates happen to walk the Giants off that night, which was kind of cool. But it was I think Brian Giles was in the lineup for the Pirates. But very, or at least for my perspective, I thought it was a really neat park because you got the bridge in the background, you got the water. What is it? The Allegheny. They got the different rivers kind of coming.
Monongahela, I think. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so from a backdrop standpoint, and of course the way they had the city, I also thought we sat on the third base side in the upper deck just the sight lines were pretty good too. Like you weren't having to lean around poles or stare in the back of people's heads the way they had the seats. It was decent, right, in terms of that. So yeah.
I played baseball, an all-star game at the Camden, New Jersey River Sharks Stadium, and their backdrop in their outfield is the Ben Franklin Bridge. Pretty awesome because it's like right there. It's pretty cool to see that while you're playing. It's like, man, that is such an awesome picture, And I've played down at the Wilmington Blue Claws, their minor league team down in Delaware. I played at their stadium too, but not the same kind of view. They just have high walls in the outfield. But the River Sharks was pretty cool. Now they don't play baseball there anymore at the Camden Field. They've moved that team. I think it was Boston's team. The Red Sox had a team there last, and I think they moved them out of there. Now, you're talking about PNC Park. Not just, but I bought a lot, a collection off of a guy 6 months ago now, maybe not even that long ago. And part of that lot was a whole bunch of magazines and stuff like that. And I had the All-Star Game program, I believe it was 1993, when they played the All-Star Game at Pittsburgh. And I had that program. Of course, it doesn't mean anything to me. So I had a little thing where I offered up all these books and stuff to these people. And a lot of people took me up on it. And it took me a while to get them mailed out because I was, I said, Nick, if you can pay the shipping, that would be great. But on most of the stuff, I pay the shipping. Some of the guys did pay shipping, which was very greatly appreciated, and overpaid shipping in some cases. But I sent to John Jabs the Pirates program because he's a Pittsburgh guy, fan, and I sent him some other stuff. He didn't know it was coming. I just kind of surprised him with it. And I still have like one more package I got to send out, but it's a huge box of Dodger stuff. I think the box weighs like 12 pounds, and it's all Dodger stuff. It's for Pepino, man. I meant to ask him again tonight. Hey, Pepino, you gonna pay the shipping on this? Because it's going from the East Coast to West Coast. And he said he wants the stuff. It's all a bunch of Dodger stuff, programs and stuff like that. And he said he wanted it, but I got to reconfirm that he wants to pay the shipping. Now that he's getting his Dodger dollars, though, that the Dodgers are, he's working at the stadium and stuff. What Truth is here? What Truth says, I paid. Yes, you did. What Truth was the second one to pay. Criterion Racer was the first one to pay. What Truth paid was the second person that paid shipping on his stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah, there's been, I've had a chance probably to get to when I used to live back in that area, when you're in the Detroit area, getting to Cleveland, I saw Misplays for Fun said that they were at the old Indian Stadium before it was torn down.
Yeah,
I got a chance. I saw the Cleveland Browns used to play there. I actually never saw a baseball game at Old Municipal. I saw a couple football games. I saw the Browns and the Tampa Bay and Browns in Seattle going back a number of years ago. And, the best thing I could say is that the stadium was torn down because the new stadium that the Browns do play in is a really top-notch venue to see a game.
Yeah. I hear the same thing about the Orioles Stadium down there in Camden Yards. Supposed to be one of the top ones in the league, too. Obviously, they built several since then, too, that are probably top-notch as well. Like the Phillies one is great. I mean, when we were kids, they didn't have all the things there that they have now. They have these jugs machines there. They have a little baseball field for the little kids to go and hit wiffle balls and have fun. They have rock climbing. They got all kinds of stuff there now. It's not like it was. We were there and you ran around the concourse. You bought food. You went to the bathroom. You sat in your seat, and sometimes it was up in the nosebleed. Which, by the way, let me finish my story about the Bob Parsons, who was my wife's neighbor when we were dating. We went down to his house. I still have his cards that I got autographed from him. I went down, it wasn't a TTM, it was a in person. And we knocked on his door, and he signed all the cards I gave him, and he gave us a bunch of tickets to come see when the Bears played the Eagles. I'm like, you would think that players, even though they're the opposing team, that they would give you nice seats. Dude, we were 3 rows from the top like they hated the Bears apparently because they gave the Bears players like the worst. I mean, and usually you get tickets like because he'd be considered a local guy because he's from Penargil, PA, which is like less than 2 hours from Philly. He went to Penn State. He was a quarterback in high school. He went to Penn State. I think he was converted to a tight end there, and then for the Bears, they drafted him. He was a tight end and a punter. Ended up being their punter. That's amazing. You go from like hot shot quarterback to punter by the time you make it to the big time. It's like, yeah, you're good enough to be a punter. You're not good enough to be the quarterback. Not that they had good quarterbacks here. They got like Bob Avellani was a quarterback. You ever hear of him? No. And some other guy. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, there were 3 rows from the top. I remember that because my brother-in-law, and all my in-laws, they're crazy Philadelphia sports fan fanatics, and he's there with his field glasses, looking down on the field. I was like, oh man. And I'm like, what are you looking at? He goes, check out them cheerleaders. I'm like, oh, yeah, look at that cheerleaders in their outfits. And I'm getting a nosebleed up here. 3 rows from the top. I remember like walking up the top and looking over the back of the stadium like, wow. That was the most, because you couldn't see the game 3 rows from the top. You couldn't enjoy it. It's like cold, you're freezing, and I don't even know who won the game. I don't know.
I was in Buffalo one time. I saw the Bills and the Jets, and when I used to live in that area, every year we would try to make 2 or 3 trips to see different stadiums. So pretty much whether it be to St. Louis where the Rams used to play, to down to Carolina. I haven't been to the Giant Stadium or to Philly, but I've been pretty much to most of the stuff in that Midwest area. And we went to Buffalo one time, and that would have been when Bruce Smith was playing for the Bills and Boomer Esiason was with the Jets. And the biggest brawl in the stands I have ever seen broke out about 2 rows in front and just over from me. There was one of the things in Detroit. You don't see a lot of women going at the time. You didn't see a lot of women going to the games in Detroit, but I thought it was fascinating. In Buffalo, there were a lot of women in the stands that would go with either their boyfriends or whatever, or just a group of gals would go. But usually in Detroit, it was probably, you're looking at about 85% male population going to the games and only maybe 15% female. So we got there. And so anyways, there was some mouthing off going on. And anyways, this woman said, hey, you got to tone down your language. We got some kids that are sitting here. And the guy basically called her a fat pig, and she threw a drink in his face, and he punched her right in the face, and then all hell broke loose. And I swear to God, there must have been 25 people that were thrown out from our section that was just over from us. There were 2 seats down and over. And I was like with my buddies, I'm like, so this is Buffalo. Cool. Welcome. It was unbelievable.
So apparently you resemble some wrestler named Big Van Vader. Someone's saying, can you see the resemblance?
Me or you?
You, not me. It's you. They thought I was talking to some wrestler. I'm like, okay, I didn't know who Van Vader is, but
nope, not me, man. Now, speaking of wrestling, I got a good wrestling story for you. There's were a couple of buddies of mine. You remember back in the WWE? Were you a wrestling guy, or did you ever follow any of it at all? Boomslang?
Listen, my time was probably before your time, where Chief Jay Strongbow, Toru Tanaka, the Tanaka brothers, even before Captain Lou Albano, I kind of want.
I remember Lou Albano. Yep,
those guys, the early guys.
So back in the late '90s, I'd finished playing football. I was playing football at college, and there was a fellow who was playing hockey at the same school. And so Rick says to me, we'd go to the same gym, and he's like, "Hey," he says, "You ever think about wrestling?" I go, "What?" You ever think? No, I never thought about wrestling. He goes, well, we're doing some wrestling. And I go, well, like, what do you mean you're doing wrestling? And so there was him and 2 other guys. They were doing some stuff with the WWF at the time, right? Because that's what it used to be known as. And they would go down and literally they would get $75 a night per match to get tossed around for 3 nights. So they go down to like Louisville, Kentucky, Lexington, there'd be 2 or 3 spots. And then what ends up happening is they would go and they would wrestle, and they'd get all their hotels, everything paid for, but they weren't making a lot of money. And that was at the time when it was like the bum of the months, so you'd have the big superstar would fight the nobody, or the villain would fight the nobody. And so they would go down and get tossed around. So I had one buddy who fought against, there was a pair of tag team guys called the Steiner brothers. And so Scott D'Amore was one of these guys who got tossed around the ring. And anyways, if you don't know how to land, they train, they practice to go into wrestle. Anyways, this guy got tossed, ended up landing on his neck. Funny. They had to drag him out of sort of to the ring so he could tag his partner. Had to get him on a stretcher and get him out of there because he's seriously injured because he didn't land properly. And so, anyways, they used to get tossed around, and they'd go down there and do that for money and a bunch of beer. And of course, the after parties with some of the other guys were pretty crazy. But there was Scott D'Amore was one. There was another guy. My buddy was Rick Keller. Rick Keller was about 6'4", and he was built like a brick shithouse. And I forget the other guy what his stage name was, but there were three guys who used to go out of our area and go and wrestle. And Scott D'Amore still does stuff. If you actually Google him or look him up on Google, he does some promotions with stuff in the Metro Detroit area, and he does some different things. But yeah, crazy.
So I made a mistake when I said RFK. RFK's in DC. I've been to JFK, which was in Philly before they tore it down. So I saw an Army-Navy game at JFK. Now, I have been to Washington, D.C., though, to see the Redskins at their new stadium there. A coworker of mine was a Redskins fan. I was a Redskins fan at the time. So I'm like, he's like, I got 2 tickets. They're playing the Dolphins. Or maybe he was a Dolphins fan. I was a Redskins fan. I think he was a Dolphins fan because he was obsessed with O.J. McDuffie. Like when the Dolphins kind of go, look, O.J. McDuffie, that's O.J. McDuffie right there, because we were right near the tunnel at the end zone, where the players come out, so we got to only see the action at this end of the field, but it was free tickets. He drove down and drove back. He did all the driving. He bought the tickets, or they were given to him. I don't know. And we went and saw the Redskins and Dolphins play. Again, I couldn't even tell you who won that game.
Yeah.
Just went and experienced it, but the turf was so beautiful. It was natural grass, but it was so beautiful. I was like, wow, I didn't know they could make a field look so beautiful, Nowadays, I know they paint the grass or whatever they do to it, but back then it was like just beautiful. Like this was several years ago. God, I've been out of that job for I've been at my current job for 13 years, and I had a job for 9 years, so that was a long time ago. I was at a job 9 years before that. Or after working with this guy, I did another job for 9 years, and then I worked for this. Yeah, it was a long time ago. So I don't remember what the name of the stadium was back then, but it was fairly new, and it was beautiful where the Redskins were playing that. Well, I guess it's the Foreskins or whatever they call themselves now, since they changed their name, became Woke, whatever.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. That's it's. I mean, I don't understand it. Like there was a lot of pressure. I don't want to get into a political conversation.
He's the guy who said he would never change it. We're never changing our name. We're the Redskins.
Yeah.
And now I'm waiting for the Braves to cave in because they're like, we're not changing our name either. We're the Braves.
Yeah, I was going to say the Braves and the Chiefs are the last man standing.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
They'll cave. They're going to cave. They will.
Well, here in the Canadian Football League, there's a team called the Edmonton Eskimos, and they packed it in. They call it the same deal. It's like we're the Edmonton football team. Great.
Yeah, that's what the Redskins call themselves, like the Washington football team or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, so what else? Here in New Jersey, there's a lot of like Indian land, a lot of high schools have Indian names. Mm-hmm. And so we're the Williamstown Braves. I'm waiting for them to change the name from the Braves and change the logo. The logo is an Indian head with all his headdress on and all this stuff. Like a lot of schools in New Jersey are named after, the Native Americans that inhabited this area before the white man came along and stole their land from them. You know what? It's the spoils of war. I'm part Native American. All right. The spoils of war is you keep what you're fighting for and win. You know what I'm saying? And they
And those
lost.
who win control the stories in the history books too. Usually, right? They're the ones you can write the.
You write the history, yes.
Yeah.
So listen, you can feel bad for them. Like, do we really need to give them measle-laden blankets instead of just regular beads for the land? Did they have to kill Custard? Come on, right? I mean, it's fair game, right? We don't hate them for that. It was war, right? So I'm making light of it, because I think it's all silly. To me, it's silliness. I don't know how other people is. That's why I don't follow baseball anymore. I don't watch baseball at all. I don't watch football. I haven't watched football for years, but they put politics in the middle of everything, and that just ruins it for a lot of people. And it ruins it for them because people are turned off. People aren't buying their product, meaning their tickets, their jerseys, everything that contributes to the owners. And the owners are okay with it. The owners are, at least publicly, they're okay with it. But anyway, yeah. So let's get back to the chat because that's the subject.
There's a lot of people chatting in there. It's good to see. We get
Baron von Rache was here in Las Vegas in 2019. Who's Baron von Rache?
Sounds like probably a wrestler.
Oh, okay, yeah. Cauliflower Alley. Is that where they mess up your ear and give you cauliflower ear? Your ear's all deformed. Oh my goodness. What's this say? The WTF Washington football. Yeah. I'm the one who named them the Washington Foreskins. I used to be a Redskins fan. To be honest with you, I was a Jets fan. And when Namath kind of went to LA, because I really liked Joe Namath, and then Riggins was like my guy too. And when he went to Washington, I'm like, all right, I'll just go with Riggins. And the championships had nothing to do it because I was a Riggins guy before that. And after that, after Riggins stopped playing, I just stopped following football altogether.
He was a Jet before he was a Redskin, correct? Is that right?
Yeah. Had a mohawk too. Oh my God. He had a mohawk.
Wasn't that on the 70? Didn't he have that on a 74 football card?
Yeah. I don't know if he had a big afro on one, and then next one he's got an afro. I'm like, that's a cool guy. I love that guy. And I was a kid, kind of young. And now you'd be racist if you had a freaking mohawk, right?
Well, I remember when who was the congresswoman that he slapped in the backside when he was all liquored up at some event in Washington?
That was named. Yeah. Oh God.
No. Riggins did it. Riggins did that too. He was all liquored up and he slapped some congresswoman in the backside. Gave her. Yeah. That'd be a good talking point these days in today's PC world.
Well, Namath got in trouble for he said something to a reporter. I don't know if he smacked her in the butt, but he said something to her. And
Susie Colbert. Yeah, Susie Colbert. Yeah, yep. And you know what? You've never really seen Namath like on TV or like in the media really. Like he got pulled apart, right? Like he was off of that.
He does Social Security stuff now. He does advertisement for Social Security. Yeah, make sure you get your benefits. He does that. He does that down here. I see him all the time doing that. Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. Make sure you sign up and get your benefits that are due for you, Social Security. Yeah. Just call this number here. So some outfit does hire him to do that.
I've got, I see that Miss Plays for Fun says that they have an Indians jersey and it's a Tyler Naquin jersey. And then the one you've got highlighted, they say they want to get a Shane Bieber. I've got one of the, I've got a Cleveland Indians Ricky Vaughn jersey from back in the Major League.
Nice.
They had that done up.
Hold that cool. Hold that thought. Entertain them. I got to run upstairs.
Absolutely. We could talk about that as I'll go through the chat. That was actually pretty cool. I used to wear that a lot to to the Tiger games when I'd go across when they play the Indians, and then people would be in the stands and they'd be screaming, "Hey, Ricky, Ricky," and they'd be all going nuts. Josh Hammond says, I think Cleveland Indians, I think of Bob Feller. And it's funny, I had one of my customers actually gave me, it's I kid you not, it's sitting in my van right now in the glove compartment. I got an autographed picture of Bob Feller. And it was this boy's granddad passed it over to me, and thought that I would find that to be interesting. And it's kind of cool. It's an old photograph of him, and it was autographed, and he's unfortunately missed. Jay Thompson says he has a mohawk now. I don't know, Jay. I think you're going to have to prove that somehow. Maybe you're going to have to change your pic on your YouTube to show it up. And so, who else do we have here? Sin City says, my mother won't labor while watching the Cowboys. The Cowboys Stadium is cousin's Tony Dorsett. Well, went into labor. Great movie. James Phillips says, yeah, Major League was a great movie. It was absolutely classic. Where is... Let's see. Troy's card says, jersey I'd like to get now. Classic D-backs jersey with white, purple. Troy, are you in the Vegas area, or not Vegas, in the Arizona area? That's an absolutely great stadium. If I could pull it up, I got it on my phone. I went down there a few years ago. I had tickets to see the White Sox play. A buddy of mine works for the Diamondbacks organization, and so he was able to help me out with some tickets. And that was the first and only time I've been there. I went for the full 3-game set, and it's a beautiful place. That's one of the best venues around. And I'll hold it up as I got on my phone here. If you can see it, here were my seats, and this is when we were playing they were playing the White Sox. Let's see if this is going to hold up for you guys or not. I don't know if that can work or not, but not in the front row, but it was the row behind. It was the front row, but it was the row just in behind. That's the stadium in Arizona. I was showing that up. One of the guys says, I think it's Diamondback stand. So I had seats. Angel Hernandez was doing the plate that game, and that was the seats right behind home plate. And there's like a wall, and then right down below that is where there's like sort of luxury box area. So I was kind of in the seats just behind that. It was an interesting stadium. And you know what's neat about that, Boomslang, is it's hot. It's hot outside. It could be like 110 Fahrenheit. You walk in the stadium is air conditioned, and then you sit there in the game, and like 5 minutes before first pitch, they open the roof, and you're sitting there, and it is cool. It's like you're sitting next to an air conditioner. You're absolutely cool. It's outside, and then when you leave the stadium, boom! It's like somebody punches you in the face, and you're back to 95 again with humidity. It's like
I know that feeling. So when I deployed to the Middle East in 2012, and we flew over, we're in a nice, comfortable, air-conditioned airplane, right? And we landed. We flew in our own airplane because I worked on heavies. It was KC-10s, which is the DC-10, MD-10 equivalent, but it's a military version. It's for in-flight refueling. We flew over in our own airplane, which was cool, nice and comfortable seats. We landed, and they opened the door, and as soon as you stepped out, it's like 120 degrees. Bam! And it's instant sweat just pouring off because you've been like 14 hours in nice air conditioned, you're like nice and comfortable. And bam, it hits you. And then you got all these guys at the bottom of the ramp, the welcoming committee. They're all happy to see you. They got this truck with these big speakers in there playing music and welcoming you. I'm like, guys, I think we're in for trouble. I've never been anywhere. Every day you go for chow in the morning, and you step outside the chow hall, and you sit under this, camouflage netting thing, and just the sweat is just pouring off you like all day long. You're just sweating. It's literally hydrate or die. They gave you Camelbacks. You had to constantly be drinking water, especially when you first got there, because your body's not acclimated to the temperatures. It's crazy. But anyway, so thanks for entertaining everyone. So I went upstairs to get, since we were on the
Major League. There it is. Dorn.
Roger Dorn.
That's awesome.
It's
What does it
personalized
say?
to Mark. Strike this motherfucker out. Roger Dorn. So
Yeah,
they
that's
got him to
awesome.
personalize it. Someone named Mark got him to personalize it, but I paid $10 for this.
That's awesome.
A guy was selling this that sold me a bunch of cards. He had this too, and I'm like, "How much you want for that?" He goes, "Give me $10." I'm like, "You got it, $10." You can't beat it. You can't beat it. I'm not an Indians fan, but I've seen the movie. How many times you see it? It's just a classic movie.
Yeah, that movie's one of the best ever. Sorry to jump back. Jeff McMahon asked up a bit ago. He says, "Are you from the Metro Detroit area?" Yeah, I grew up in Windsor, Jeff, and so pretty much 35 years of my life in that area. But I've been out of there for about 15, almost 15 now. Live on the West Coast, so. For poor Boomslang, he's looking at 2:30 in the morning right now. But for me, I'm just getting fired up. It's only 11:24.
Yeah, I'm good to go because I can sleep all day. I've got nothing planned for tomorrow. So someone also asked, who's going to the national? Rumor is it might be canceled. It's going to be pushed back, and it may not even happen again. So yeah. And also, guys, here's that link to the chat. If you want to join us in here, you can just click on that link, and it will pop you in here. No problem.
I'll probably hang with you for another few more minutes, Boomslang, and I appreciate you having me. It's been a blast. I sometimes type in on your channel. I keep asking them all the time, where are those Phil Garners?
You're the Phil Garner guy. I just had one the other day. I just showed one the other day. I'm like, oh, look, here's a Phil Garner, because I know there's a Phil Garner fan out there somewhere.
Well, it's kind of he managed in Detroit for a while, and I know he was there before. He was with I think he was with Milwaukee before that, and I always get a kick out of Garner. He was his style of play I enjoyed, because I didn't think he was a natural like a natural athlete. At that level, he was always a bit like a grinder. He was always, a bag of nails kind of thing. And that's how he kind of went about his whole thing. So I always get a good kick out of him. So you were doing that one break that one time, and you pulled out a couple of Garners. I'm like, hey, you got any more of those? So it's all good.
Yeah. Now I know who the Phil Garner guy is.
Yeah.
Because I had one the other day. I'm like, oh, look, here's a Phil Garner. I know there's got a Phil Garner fan out there somewhere.
Yeah.
But it's not I don't see it in this stack here. Oh, there's a Bonds in this stack though.
Is that 88 or 89? 89.
89.
Troy's card says he was stationed in Fort Polk, Louisiana, 5th Infantry Division back in 1991. But he stayed stateside for Desert Storm. Yeah.
I was Chair Force, joined in 81, and I served from 81 to 90, late 90, not quite 91. It was like October of 90 when I got out. And then took a 14-year break. And in 2003, I rejoined the military in the Air Force Reserves here in New Jersey, and I did my 12 plus years in the reserves, got my pension out of it, and best thing I ever did was go back and finish up my my military career, because I had nine and a half years in to begin with. So I got out and did other things. I was a cop in Vegas for about a year, resigned from that position and moved back home here, back east. And, just did odd jobs, factory work then from here on out. And right now I'm currently working for Boeing down in south of Philly there.
I had
building Chinooks.
Craig Nettles.
But with the error card, it's Craig Nettles on the back.
Speaking of Craig Nettles, I got something to show you here. It's got to be within reach here. Give me a second. I'll pull it up for you. Let's see if I can
Hey,
get this here.
R. Prasada, how's it going?
Hmm.
Again, guys, here's the link to the chat if you guys want to join in. Someone wants to join in, they can.
All right. How about these babies? You remember these? I don't know where they were from, to be honest with you. I remember I had a couple of them, and Nettles happens to be one of them, and he's sitting on my kitchen table. I don't know why. He's been here for a while. And,
yeah, I actually bought a box of those.
oh wow! And on the back, they gave you kind of the position as batting average, and
Yep.
that was about it.
Yeah, the little pins for your hat. I don't have any down here. Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
Troy says he's got a few of those, and Constipated in Sin City says they're from the 80s. Correct. Yeah.
I don't think I have any down here because I think I put almost all of them in boxes in my boxes that I sell. Well,
Does it seem like 1980, 86 it would be the year for that one approximately?
I don't know. I may have taken that box and put it in storage. So like the boxes from the stuff that I open up, I save them and I put them in storage to preserve.
Yeah.
To preserve the boxes. Like I bought this, just an empty box, because I was hoping to get some 95 or 85 Dunrust to put in here. A guy was selling a box. I was hoping to go partials on a box with some of my buddies, and they didn't want to spend the $350, their portion of it to get the box. So I had already bought this off of eBay, and I'm like, well, I still don't have the box, so I'll just preserve the box. I mean, the seller, when he sent it to me, he filled it with foam pads to help it keep its shape. So that was nice of him, right? So it doesn't get crushed in the shipping.
Constipated in Sin City says 88.89 for those buttons.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds right. That sounds fair. I think if I remember correctly, I want to say I got them. I had my grandfather's brother used to live in Lansing, Michigan, and so we used to go. Actually, he lived in Grand Ledge, and so we used to go there a couple times a year to go visit him. He passed like back around that time, and so typically that's where I would get my some of the baseball cards. When we get into Michigan, we get over there and pick up stuff, and so I don't know. I think that's probably where I got those little pins.
Our Posada is joining us, guys. So
Yeah.
here's the book I was telling you about with the Bobby Richardson. I saved my like TTM letters to him and stuff like that, the returns. His personal, like little personal letter he wrote me because I asked him some questions. And this is the book he sold me, $10, and he paid the shipping. So it's actually a pretty nice book because he talks. I asked him about how, because he also sent some other stuff. Those little tracts, I believe they're called, for the religious pamphlets. I think it's called a track. He sent me one of them, and so I replied back to it. I'm like, so like it was about Mickey Mantle, his final best inning or final inning or whatever, and I asked him about it, how was Mantle and all this stuff, and I told him the story. Like here it is. So here's the track that he sends, right? And he signed that too. He did, so I asked him about Mantle. He talks about Mantle a lot in the book. That's when he told me, hey, buy my book, and read, but he told me about it too. Here's some of the TTMs that he gave, he signed for me. 62, 62 tops he signed for me. And this is one that he supplied on his own. It's like one of his own little cards, but yeah, great guy.
I like that. I like his signature. I'll tell you a funny story. And then I'm probably going to tap out here because I've got to get up a little early in the morning. But I made it a point, probably I'd say maybe about 6-7 years ago, that if I'm going to get an autograph from a player, they got to have a good signature. Like it's got to be decent. And I kind of resent paying money where the guys just scribble or they don't take their time. I want to be able to, it can be unique, but it's got to be something that's somewhat legible. Right. And so I don't know if you guys, I'm not a Minnesota Twin fan. He spent a couple of years in Detroit, but Torrey Hunter has got a beautiful autograph. He's got a nice sign. Okay. And so he was signing over in Detroit, and I don't live in the area anymore, but my folks do. So I said, "Hey, look, would you mind going over and getting Torrey Hunter for me?" And Joe Nathan is signing at the same time. And my parents said to me, "Do you want Nathan's?" And I said, "Well, let me go take a look online. I'm going to Google his autograph." And his autograph is terrible. And I said, "No, I don't." So my mom actually told that story to Torrey Hunter. She's in her 70s, right? So she blasts this to Torrey Hunter, and he's sitting there just howling and laughing, and he's howling over to Joe Nathan and say, "Hey, you hear this? They don't want your autograph because you don't know how to sign." And they're just laughing away, right? And having a good old time. And but the funny part to Hunter is the story about Torrey Hunter was back when he was in his first or second season with Minnesota. He did an autograph show with Harmon Killebrew, and Killebrew basically said, "Look, I'm never ever gonna do another autograph show with you again because you don't take care of the fans. You just want to sign and get the heck out of there, and your autograph is terrible and everything else." And Torrey said it really meant a lot to him when Killebrew had pulled him aside and talked to him, and he said after that point he always tried to take care of the fans whenever he was doing a show. So anyway, that's the Torrey Hunter story.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Hey, well, listen, Boomslang, I really want to thank you for having me pop in tonight. And I will be poking my head into your channel as I normally do from time to time. And so we look forward to seeing you. And I think you got Posada in the house here. So he's gonna hold the fort down while I'm gonna tap out.
I'm gonna try.
All right.
You guys had some great stories.
Awesome. Well, listen, you have a great night, and we'll stay in touch, and we'll be. Oh, there's Canseco.
That's the Canseco. I got him to sign at the signing, and this is the Pete Rose that I got Rose to sign the 72 tops when I did his thing too, and it came.
Rose has got a nice autograph. I always like his autograph. It's pretty solid. Yeah.
I actually got a story about Pete Rose's autograph. He was signing in Las Vegas, and I actually paid, I think, $30 to get it signed. And that night in Vegas, it was a night I kind of forgot about, and I woke up and didn't have that autograph item no more. I think it was like a baseball in a picture, like a 8x10 or something like that, where he signed it and went out for the night in Vegas. And actually, to this day, I can't like forget that I lost his autograph and everything. But I heard he still does the autograph signings in Vegas, so I don't know. Might have to stop in Vegas one of these days and get it.
Absolutely.
There's my Killebrew.
Killebrew's got a nice sign too. My dad's got one on a bat. So
yeah, unfortunately he's not with us. Let's see.
He's not signing no more.
He's dead. Yeah, he's not gonna be signing. There's my Roger Maris, by the way.
That's a nice autograph.
Yeah.
Big time.
Nice, and it's slabbed.
Yep.
There's Mantle, yep.
That's the mail I told you I ended up paying $300 for because I didn't want to pay $57 back in the day.
It's probably more than 300 now.
But here's the thing, like this was a TTM for me, Roger Maris. TTM'd him. This was a meet and greet, personalized one. This was not, it was an eBay buy, that one there. This was a TTM, Joe Morgan. It's in pen, so it's really hard to see.
Oh, nice.
Back then, we had pens. That's what they did. Here's a Lou Brock. That was a TTM for me. You can get the ink there.
He had a nice signature, too.
Yep. Dave Winfield, another TTM. This is not a TTM. I pulled this out of a pack, but Chipper's got a nice signature, too.
Hey, I got a question for you, Boomslang, before I split. What about the Louisiana Lightning? You got any of his autographs?
I do, but not down here. I do have Guidry.
Yeah, and does he sign much out your way at all? Do you see him signing at all?
No, I bought his off of eBay.
Mm.
Certified though. I won't buy it. This is a eBay purchase. This I bought off of eBay too, but I had to get it. Stan Musial.
Mm.
Nice.
It's a good example of it because as he got older, it got worse. Like that happens to they just get the shaky
Are
hands.
shaky.
Do you know Musial was one of the guys who never used to shake hands. He always used to fist pump. And you know why he would fist pump guys? Because it was sort of like when the Boston Red Sox won that World Series. And they tell the story about guys pissing on their hands to make their hands a little tougher to grip the bat. Well, Musial was a germaphobe. And he knew that there were guys that he played with that used to do that. And so he wouldn't want to shake their hands or give them the high five or do any of that stuff. He would just go like this because he didn't want to touch their hands.
Here's a signature that never looked good.
Brooks Robinson.
Looks like a scribble.
Every time I seen it, it looked like it was counterfeit, like some kid wrote it. It just
looks like a scribble.
Here's one that I thought was fake, but it's not. It's
Don Drysdale.
Don Drysdale, yeah. This is one of mine that I submitted to. It was a TTM of mine back in the day. I had to get this one here. This is Rich Gossage, not Goose. It's before he became Goose.
I actually traded Steve Rademacher. I don't know if you're familiar with Steve and his channel at all. Yeah. So Steve actually won a Goose Gossage ball on somebody else's channel. It was out of the what do they call it? Out of TriStar, Johnny Bench, out of TriStar. And so I said, you know what? I said I like that signature. We worked out a deal, and I've got the ball, and I just got to work off the rest of the deal for Steve that we agreed to. But yeah, that's kind of interesting.
McCovey had
Is that nice McCovey?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That was a eBay purchase. This was an in-person, not the best signature.
Who's that? I can't see that. That's Maddox.
Maddox.
Well, Maddox calls Vegas his home. His kid was playing at UNLV, and Greg Maddox was the pitching coach at UNLV up until, well, I assume he still is right now.
Paul Molitor, that's a pretty nice signature there.
Molitor, yeah.
Catfish Hunter had a nice one.
That's nice.
It is a nice sign, yeah.
I had to buy this off of eBay because the one I had TTM'd as a kid came back as one of the ones that were counterfeited, like out of my collection. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Oh, wow.
Had to buy this one too. And then I ended up coming across even more of them later on.
Frank Robinson, yeah.
Frank Robinson.
Yep.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. And this was only $20.
Is that Biggio?
Yep, Craig Biggio. And it's a relic, auto relic. So, and it's a patch. It's got like some kind of stripes in there, black and white. It's crazy, and it's numbered to 25.
I've got somewhere, I don't know where it is, but I got a Bucky Dent autograph kicking around.
Bucky freaking Dent?
I do. Yes, I do. But I don't know where it is. It's somewhere buried in when I came out of here. It's in one of the boxes, and I'm gonna have to dig it out. So
I know the buried in boxes bit.
Yep. Whitey Ford
relic.
That's a nice sign.
Whitey Ford had a nice signature too. That's for sure.
I like that card.
I love this card. I bought it and I forgot. I actually got a good price on it. And it's numbered to 10. It's number 4 of 10. It's a numbered card. It's very low number.
All right, fellas.
All right.
Boomslang, once again, thanks a lot for having me, man. Posada, you take care of yourself, and we'll be talking to you guys soon. And I'll be poking my head around in the future, and we'll be stopping in at your channel. So thanks again for having me.
See you later.
All right. Cheers, guys.
Cheers. So I got this one too. This Tom Seaver had a beautiful signature too.
Yeah, those are nice. You got some nice signatures. Some guys got some scribbles.
Frank Thomas has a nice one.
That's a nice one.
Yep. Orlando Cepeda, not so nice. At least you can read it.
Looks like he's learning cursive.
Ferguson.
they don't even teach cursive no more.
No, they don't. You're right. Yeah, Ferguson Jenkins.
Sad.
They do not
Nice.
teach it in school anymore.
Yeah, little ones. I told them sign their name. They didn't even know what the signature was.
Let's see. What does Jay say? That Maddox got his auto as a minor leaguer. Has his jersey too. Until stepmom donated that Cubs shirt I never wore to Goodwill while I was in the Corps. Yeah. Yeah, I lost some things too when I joined the military first off. But yeah, I got the M&M boys. I'm very happy that I got like the mantle I had to buy, but the Maris I had as a TTM when I was a kid. So I was happy that came back as legit.
When did you start collecting autographs or getting autographs?
Oh, I forget. I used to send to the teams and stuff like that. So yeah, it was God. I was 10 or 12. I was sending to the stadiums trying to get the guys to sign stuff.
Oh, okay.
But and then obviously you got older, you go to card shows and you pick them up. But I mean, nowadays it's like it's got to be certified because there's too many fakes out there.
Yeah. I have one of the stories that was similar to the one there you're talking about, the Aaron Judge. I was sitting there listening to the story where the manager told him, "Oh, right before he got to you." I had a similar story like that happened to me with Tim Brown when me and my dad we went to the Coliseum early. We got down to the field early, to where we can get the autographs, and I was probably like, I want to say I was the next person, or I was like the next person. He was gonna grab the football or with a little helmet that I had. There was a team helmet and a football that I had, and as soon as he got there, they were saying like, "Oh, we got to go to," and literally everybody that was signing, they just instantly just didn't even look back and just took back and went to the locker room, and that was it. And I was just literally like telling my dad, like, well, I want his autograph, like that was my whole point in coming in here early and getting down here. And I was kind of like bummed out. I was being a kid and everything, it was kind of like, oh man, like, oh well, maybe I'll get it later or next time, and it never came across. It never happened.
Later never comes around. Yeah.
And it was just like, and I still think of it to this, when I go to when they played in Oakland and I would go to the game, sometimes I would remember it, like, damn, I never got that autograph of my favorite player and stuff like that. And yeah, and it just sucks too, because it was just like abruptly like, oh, it's time to go inside, like, oh damn.
Yep, we watched him for like a half hour. He was signing. It was great.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's 20 minutes. You're sitting there at least, and then it's like, boom, they gotta go. Like, no, like he was right there in front of me.
Oh yeah, yep. He was like 20 feet away, and I'm holding my granddaughter out there, like, come on, it's a little kid. It's a little kid.
Yeah, really. That's why my dad was even like, get up there, get closer. Like, you're a youngster. He'll grab your ball before he grabs it from me. And never. He didn't grab nothing. But I don't know. But ever since then, though, it was kind of like I didn't really care for autographs or anything like that. People, so I would go to the Ports games and stuff like that, and A's games, and get autograph stuff. But I'd hear Grandpa just give it to my grandpa. My grandpa collected it.
Yeah.
But I did start collecting autographs. My favorite one is my Dave Casper Raider autograph one that I got. Well, actually, I got plenty, but yeah, Dave Casper and Ray Guy, football players.
It was his minor league jersey for the Iowa Cubs. Oh well, yeah, that sucks.
Is there an autograph that you could have got but got away? Like you're talking, had a conversation, and it was like, oh wait, oh man, I should have got his autograph.
That was the Mantle one that I turned down because I was, I couldn't afford it anyway. But
yeah.
I mean,
you never ran into somebody and just didn't have anything. Because the only reason why I'm saying is because my grandma has a story of meeting Al Davis in a elevator, and she, we're big Raider fans. I grew,
Right.
grew up Raider, and I was like, you never asked for an autograph. She says, if I would have had something for him to sign, maybe, but that was an opportunity that she says that if she, if she wished she would have just had him sign her purse or something, but yeah,
Right.
I was like that would be an autograph that I wish I could have got.
Don Jay says Don Sutton is his should have got. There you go.
Don Sutton. Another one too, I think it was like an Emmitt Smith met him in Vegas, and just going through the casinos, and it was like, oh, is that really Emmitt? And he was at a bar just sitting there, and we were just literally like sitting right next to him. No, not too many people knew, I guess, and I didn't know until we were leaving. And we were leaving, I was just like, oh, okay, well, that was Emmitt Smith, whatever, best running back I ever witnessed.
He charges an arm and a leg for autographs, though. Till this day.
Oh, okay. So he probably wouldn't even have done it. Well, then again, too, he's kind of intimidating, even when he's having a good time. It looks like.
Yeah, his back in the day during his playing days. After he scored a touchdown, he would always take that football, right? He would take that football, and he would give it to his father, who was living in Florida and had a card shop, and his father was selling them, I think.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
I do remember that. I do remember him saving like almost every football.
Everyone, man. Yep. He scored. He took that football with him.
Yep. I do remember that because I had a stepfather who was a real big Cowboys fan, so that's how I ended up watching a lot of Cowboys.
Yep. Oh, let's see.
What you looking for in your vault, in your archives?
I'm just looking for cards. I gotta sort cards.
Yeah, no, I know. Me too. I was just I'd opened up a pack of some of these Pokemons or whatever, and I don't know. It was a free pack out of the cereal. I didn't even know it came with the Pokemon cards. And yeah. I don't know if it's Pokemon. And I do too. Look at, I got a little bag that's got a whole bunch of cards that need to be put in place. Got Raider ones.
Tony Dorsett, was a really good running back for sure.
Oh yeah. Yep. And look at Holiday's autograph. This is funny, talking about some funky autographs. I think it says blessed, and that's his autograph above it.
Oh, okay. Who's that? Matt Holiday?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
One that's always like, where's DC? He wants DC. And then I think this is Cain Velasquez, I think. Let me see. I actually seen him win the I didn't see him. I watched it I was in Vegas when he fought for the heavyweight title.
Guys, there's the link to the chat. If anyone else wants to join as well, you can. You're welcome to.
Then, of course, the Stockton Slap brothers.
Stockton Slap.
They made it famous. I remember the first time I seen them do that in the ring, I said, what the hell? I said, these fools don't got no respect for their opponents, because literally, like in Stockton, that's what you do to people that you have no respect for. Like, because I grew up fighting, and if you didn't have respect, you slap them. Bow! Like, yeah.
Okay.
So when I seen him do it, it was kind of like, oh, shit, he's talking shit without talking shit.
Without opening his mouth, he's talking shit.
Yeah, he's slapping them though. Yeah, but they're comedians. Like, I don't know, because I've been in like certain bars in Sacramento, or clubs in Sacramento, where they showed up and the fight happens, and they literally, like, I don't know, probably because their hands are registered, so they really can't fight back, but they like run away. Right. You know what I mean? They really don't interact as like real badass like fighters out in the streets, but you see them in their gyms, it's a whole nother story. But yeah, I've seen them in the streets a couple times. Yeah, get ran out of the club. Don't be camera shy now, people. Come on. Let's put a face to the channel. I'm probably the youngest one in here right now. Come on.
Yeah.
That's why sometimes I'll be hearing your guys' stories and I'm like, man, I need to get started now. Like I'm way behind. You got rows of boxes. What's that box for?
Oh, it just says sort on it. So
work on it.
I'm like, what am I actually sorting here? It just says sort. I gotta unplug my light because I'm gonna trip over my chair here in a minute. So I gotta turn my lights off. Stop being psychedelic.
Yeah, I need to put my cards away, separate them, put them in their little voltage. I got a lot of cards, but they're already put away, so it's like they're in the garage. So sometimes I do get an itch to go in the garage and go through them and look at them, but they're mostly already organized. I pull out my Raider bin. Y'all have all the Raiders. They're all separated and individual players already.
Yeah, these can be sorted. There's some Hall of Famers and fan favorites in here.
Yeah.
Then there's like some nobodies like this Jack Brohammer. It's got the
Broham.
Brohammer.
What's up, Broham?
And look at them freaking mutton chops he's got.
He got those pork chops.
Ginger mutton chops. Yes.
Who's
in here?
Maybe the chat might know, or if you might know who's good for the Atlanta Hawks besides Trae Young.
Oh, I have no idea. I don't follow basketball at all.
You don't follow it at all? Like none?
No basketball.
I feel you. After Kobe and Shaq retired, it was kind of boring. Nah. I watched the Lakers.
Well, there's not a whole lot of Hall of Famers in here. A lot of commons.
Ken Griffey Jr. gave you 3 boxes of candy. Oh, candy bars. Damn.
Nice. Last time Dad emptied out the pantry.
Oh, Sandy
brought me a box of cards from I never lived at that house.
So where you live, are fireworks legal or are they illegal?
Certain ones are illegal. You can only have like sparklers and shit.
Oh, so like these legal ones then?
Yeah, they're
like little choo-choo trains that just sparkle.
Yeah, that's it. They just flare up or whatever. They're okay.
Oh.
Can't have bangers, but a lot of people do. They set them off.
Yeah, they give you like 20 shots like this. The reason why I got into fireworks because when I was a little kid, my Stockton Ports would always like have fireworks shows, and my grandpa would always take me to them. And so after the game, we would sit there and have our hot dogs, nachos, or whatever, and soda, and sit there and watch the fireworks go off. So I became like a real pirate, like they would have the legal firework booths. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then we would have a competition with the kids down the street. You know, they'd light one, we would light one.
Okay.
So yeah, we grew up lighting a bunch of fireworks around here, but it does suck because the real good ones are illegal, and it's like, you know, some people take advantage and go overboard. Oh, that's a nice one.
Bo Jackson chilling behind them Foster Grants.
That's a nice one. That's crazy. So what are those? Just a lot of your boxes that you've held on to over the time and just haven't
Well,
went through, or how do you accumulate the boxes that you got to work on?
well, usually when I get them, I sort them out according to manufacturer, and
Okay.
then I pull out the cards I want to pull out, like Hall of Famers and stuff like that too. And there's a bunch here that for some reason I marked still need to be sorted, because this has Dunruss in it, it has Tops in it, so it was never sorted. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So I thought I had sorted everything too, but I mean, to a degree, but apparently not to the degree that I'm used to.
I see. I see.
And these are all like Burger King Yankee cards here.
Yeah, I don't know. I got fish tank
Right
too.
here. Right here at Burger King Yankees.
Oh, that's nice. The Burger King set. I remember Jimmy Guns had that on his. It wasn't the full set. It was just part. I think part of it, and it went over 20. I know that.
I think these came in Pop-Tarts. These here.
Oh wow. Yeah, that's like these Pokemon cards that came in the freaking Cocoa Puffs.
Okay. The rest of these came in like cereal boxes.
Yeah, I didn't even know that they were doing that.
Well, it was years ago in the 70s and 80s.
Yeah, well, they're still doing them because these are the 2020s. But well, not sports. It's a Pokemon. I guess,
Pokemon, yeah.
Yeah. I was almost. It's a good. You know what though? This is a good thing because not only is it getting the kids to buy it, but I almost went back just to buy every box that was on the shelf.
Some hostess panels that have been cut out already. Johnny Bench, Gary Templeton,
Nice.
Bobby Bonds, Barry's dad, and
Come here. Make a guest appearance.
Dudley Hargrove. Call him.
Now you want to be camera shy?
Yeah, and then Elliot Maddox. So one Hall of Famer there, Johnny Bench.
She's being all camera shy.
Yeah,
it's okay.
My wife's cat's sleeping up top.
Oh, I know that cat's always finding a crazy spot to get up to. That day when you turn the lights off, I wonder how it's a girl.
I don't know how she got down. I don't know.
because you're like, she's gonna knock something over. Like,
yeah,
no
she
way.
did. She didn't. I was surprised. I came in here and nothing was wrecked.
Yeah, I was like, oh. Yeah, my dog, she's tired. She's like, I'm waiting for you to go to bed. What are you doing? She's all pissed that I woke her up. She's barely like a year and a couple months.
Not the reverse negative. Dang it.
Dang it. It might look reverse to y'all, but it's not.
Hopefully I'll find out one day.
Right.
In one of these boxes, it'd be like a pleasant surprise.
Hockey. You know, there's not a lot of hockey channels, really. I noticed. But I got some hockey cards. So got some Red Wings. Oh, for some reason I like this card. Just because I guess it's a goalie. Yeah, how do you do the cam thing? Or should I just tap on it?
What's that? Oh, yeah. I have to tap on it. I don't think you can do it.
Yeah, you do the cam thing? Oh, yeah. Oh, that yours. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's what
there you go,
about.
Jay.
How you doing, Jay?
Hey, what up, guys? Hey, what up, guys?
So you're gonna have to turn the volume down on your mute your YouTube channel or whatever you're watching, so that we don't get the echo. We're getting echo. Volume down on.
Is that better?
There you go. Let's see. Yeah, I don't hear anything. You can still hear us, right? Through the
Yeah, I got you.
StreamYards, yeah. So
Sorry,
people.
my beard's a mess. I'm not allowed to shave it.
Oh, I shaved mine down today. I got my hair and everything's gone.
Not allowed to. I get this nice growth right here that they're gonna take me under the knife for, but I have to have 6 months worth of growth before they do it. They won't even let me trim it down here.
Really?
Yep.
I got the same problem. Like I can't grow a full beard. I grow right here, none right here, and then like some right here. So like right here in the
I
middle is
can grow a
bald.
righteous beard. I'm just not allowed to shave it right now.
Right. So why is that though? Why are they saying as
It's the VA. They're stupid.
oh the VA? Yeah.
They're stupid.
Yeah, VA. Is it for medical? Are you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I get these growths on my face. I had a nice big one right here until it exploded. Now I got one.
Okay.
I got one over here right now that they're getting ready to
work. Yeah, look at
to grow before they'll even attempt it.
Yeah.
No, that's kind of weird, but okay. Yeah, there's. I don't deal with the VA for anything but my glasses. That's it.
I try not to deal with the VA, but you know, some of us folks are too poor for the other stuff.
Yeah, I hear you. That's the only reason why I'm working is because I can't afford insurance if I retire.
Yeah.
And at Cobra, then I have to rely on the VA to be my health provider, and I don't want that. You know.
Yeah, you'll have to excuse me. I'm rolling a cigarette. It is a cigarette, guys. I promise.
Team trio that never happened. Antonio Brown, Josh Jacob, and Carr.
So you think that Rogers guy's going to end up on that team out there in Vegas?
I don't know.
I'm not going to hold my breath, but I'd like to. He's
as a Packers fan, I think it'd be stupid if he left. Giving him everything he's wanted, it just ain't been enough.
Yeah.
So some people wear their NFL mandated skirt proudly.
That is true. I wouldn't leave if I was him. Because like you guys said, he's Green Bay. In my eyes, have done a lot for him in the sense of being a quarterback. Anyways,
we've done everything but wipe his tears.
Yeah, exactly. He's got his money.
The only thing we did that I could see pissed him off was cut Jordy Nelson, and that pissed me off.
Oh yeah, Jordy. My son's a Packer guy. He loved Jordy and of course Rogers.
Yeah, when Nelson did that, it was.
Yeah, mine's a little bit smaller, but I got to celebrate the firing of Ray Rhodes.
Oh, nice. No, I always I do tell people here, because in Stockton, California, there's a bunch of Cowboys fans, Niner fans, and fans, Cowboys, whatever, Chiefs
Cowboys fans are everywhere. I was supposed to be one when I grew up, but I got smart and decided to pick my own damn team.
Me too. Oh well, I would watch Cowboys fans, and then I would root for the Cowboys because I thought that was the team I liked until I went to a Niner game, saw Jerry Rice and go off and everything. That was real fun. I was like, oh, Niners are real cool. But then I went to a tailgating game or a tailgate at a Raider game and was playing catch with the kids, and I became a Raider fan from that day on. It was just I loved it.
I went to a Packers game, and like 3 days before the game, I walk out the hotel room, have my ex-girlfriend whistle, and I just yell beer, catch one, and duck. The rest of them come flying at me. Oh, it was great. Used to piss her off. I just poke my head, whistle. She'd whistle. I can't whistle. Shit. She could. I just yell beer, and then poof, they come flying.
Yeah, I can't whistle.
I used to, and then I got braces, and it fixed my overbite, and that kind of stopped that.
Mhm.
Yep. Stop that in its tracks.
Yep. Ugh, damn it.
Man, Boomslang, you're really into wrestling. You were mentioning some names that I only hear the legends talk about them watching growing up.
I don't watch it anymore. I kind of, when I was younger, would watch.
Oh yeah, no, I haven't watched
I
it since
grew up
probably about
watching
like
stuff.
2007, probably.
I was watching it back in the territory days. Lived in NWA Central States territory, back when Ric Flair was 3-time champion.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
NWA.
Oh, yeah. It was great going to them, watching Slick and Bruiser Brody, my favorite.
Oh, yeah. I watched Stone Cold Steve Austin talk about him.
Oh, Bruiser Brody was mean.
Yeah.
He was mean. I did see one WWF show in my lifetime, and it was the one where Andre the Giant attacked the cameraman here in Des Moines, Iowa, and ended up getting sued. It was a big deal back then.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
I bet that was
talk
awesome.
About it.
The legend Andre.
Oh, dude, he was huge.
Yeah, I seen him perform when I was probably about like 5-6 at UOP. At one of the events they had over here. Him, Hulk Hogan, Razor Ramon.
I watched him wrestle with Scott Hall when he was a cowboy.
Yeah. Boogeyman. Oh yeah, that was small.
Oh, I loved the Boogeyman. Used to love doing his little dance for my nephews just to scare the crap out of him. I just grab a big stick and start shaking.
Yeah. Oh man, it was good. Those were good shows.
Oh yeah. I used to tell them stories all the time how about me and the Boogeyman were friends until that witch doctor got a hold of us and did that to us, and then I'd start doing my little shake and grab a big stick, and they'd run screaming to my brother, and his wife would come out. God damn it, Jay! Quit telling them that bullshit.
Kids so vulnerable.
They are.
Yeah, loved it. Today I went to my little 10, 11-year-old baseball game. It was their first one, and my gosh, little, but with big dreams. I guess I don't know. They want to be professionals, but it's like you got to take your time.
Oh, you see, I always wanted to be a pro wrestler, but me with my massive body size.
Yeah, so big.
I'd do much better as a ring rope.
He's a ring rope, right?
Yeah.
Nah, I'm the same. Like I don't care how much I work out, my arms they'll stay small, skinny.
Dude, I'm almost 6 foot tall and 125 pounds, and I eat like a pig.
Oh wow, garbage disposal.
Yes. I got a food bill y'all wouldn't believe. So skinny, my grandma thought I was anorexic and bulimic.
Jake's a snake.
Every time I ate over at her house, she'd have people follow me to the bathroom to make sure I wasn't purging.
There you go.
Jerry the King Waller was good too.
Oh, I loved him. I loved the mouthy guys.
Yeah. I was about to say he had a mouth on him.
That's where I would have fit in.
Yeah,
I may not have had the body. I got the mouth. Yeah. If only I could have back then. I'm too old now.
Right.
And
how's this?
Mirror's backwards, and I got this one mustache hair I keep seeing, and I'm watching here on the camera trying to grab it. I keep grabbing the wrong side of my face.
Yeah, you got to think in reverse.
Hell, I can't think forward. I got to think upside down.
Right, like I get a lot of questions. Oh, do you speak Spanish or do you speak Pinoy? Because I always tell people I'm Mexican Filipino. Oh, do you speak Spanish? I tell them I barely had enough problems with passing English in class. You think I wanted to go take another language?
Yeah. I tell you.
I
I
barely
spent a
got
lot
C
of time in
minus in there.
Tijuana, Mexico, and I didn't learn much for Spanish words except to know when I was being sworn at and when they wanted me to buy a beer.
Yeah. I feel.
So I got a question. What kind of price tag do I put on? Where's my camera? What
What's
kind of
up,
price tag do I
update?
put on that?
Donruss.
Joey Bart. Yep. Pulled it out of a pack the other day. Not a Giants fan. When you get ready to get a hold of some Nikos.
Because I had just looked up some Barts the other day. They're around $60-$50. Some of his cards that I was looking at, but they weren't autographs though. You know what I mean? So that would probably be up there, probably around the hundreds. Maybe.
I'd have a problem paying $100 for a damn autograph on a sticker. I really would.
Yeah. There's the sticker autograph too, though. So it's probably around 90 now.
Yeah, not a fan of sticker autographs at all.
Yeah, I noticed that too
crazy.
on eBay. If it's a sticker auto, the car is really like reasonable. But if it's an on card auto, it's kind of like it's really up there.
Yeah, I don't mind paying a little bit of a premium for on card autos.
Yeah. But not
stickers, no.
Yeah.
Not at all. I've yet to buy a sticker auto.
Yeah, like and it's sad because they literally just send them sheets of stickers.
Yeah, I mean it's lazy.
Yeah.
I think for the amount of money they're charging for these packs of cards nowadays, they damn well better sign them in gold pen.
Yeah, right. Shit, I feel. Actually, I stopped buying. I can't. I mean, I buy like specific personal. You know what I mean? If it's a person I really like, or I'm looking for it, or it's a card I really want, I'll get it. But as far as like getting into breaks and buying product and having a whole bunch of just other cards, I'm not gonna waste all that money just to have a bunch of random cards that I'm not gonna. That's not my team and that I don't like.
Well, I'm a set builder, so I got this problem with crack and wax. Very rarely do I buy singles unless it's something I'm looking for.
Yeah.
If I got 199 of the 200 card set, I'm not above buying the one card I need.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. I've done the same.
But if I'm 60, 70 cards short, no, I'll just buy another damn box.
Yeah, oh, definitely. No, most definitely.
The addiction's bad.
Yeah. No, and being a set collector, man. You get so close and you're just buying a couple, like you guys are like, all right, I got 16 cards, and you end up spending for 3 boxes, and out of those 16 cards you only get 6 or 3. It's like, dang it.
Oh God, I must have went through $600 worth of Chrome last year just looking for the one Lewis Robert card. I could not pull that one. I pulled every other Lewis Robert card you could pull out of that. I got his auto, all that shit. Refractor, pink, sepia. I could not get his regular base.
The base out of it, wow.
Oh, it was so bad, in a few of these groups that I was in. Every time they'd buy one, they were looking to get the Lewis Robert so they could give it to me because it was pissing me off that damn bad.
Yeah.
I just could not get that. I had every other card.
It was eluding you.
Oh, bad. It was my white whale.
Yep, it was definitely the white whale.
No, I had to resort to somebody just up and sending it to me in order to get it, in order to stop my temper tantrums. I mean, could have been worse. It could have been a Joe Nobody I was hunting for.
Yeah. But a lot of people were on Roberts too, though, and then a lot of people. But I bet you were watching a lot of people pulling him too, though.
Oh, oh my God, that's when it was pissing me off.
Yeah, I bet.
And then people are like, yeah, I got it. $60, you can have it. No.
Yeah.
Nope. Oh, I'll buy 3 more blasters for that, or 3 more of them hanger packs or whatever they were called, with 3 packs with the pink cards in them.
They got little hanger packs.
Yeah, them things.
Yeah.
Like, I grew up in the day when they were just packs and rack packs. That's it. Oh, it was damn irritating. Got a lot of nice cards out of it, but no Lou Bob until someone sent it to me. Tried to stand my mohawk up to show old boy, but it's just a bit too long, so I kept leaning over to the left.
You didn't have strong enough glue to keep it straight?
No, I don't. And I used the shit out of the gel my ex left behind, and all I got is greasy hair now. Gonna have to shower before I put it on the pillow tonight. Yeah. Oh well. Don't really hurt to shower, I guess.
It's true.
Oh, damn. Ah, shit. Here I am sitting in front of my cars. I might as well sort while I'm talking.
I know. That's why every time I get on Boomslang, I always start getting my cars, and then the next morning I'm like, oh, look it, I got all these separated, ready to go in the box.
I do the same thing. I sort while
oh wow,
that's what I'm working on right now.
That reminds me of 2019.
Oh, that's not even counting the boxes I got up underneath and in my closet and in my dresser and over here on the floor.
That reminds me of this
I've
box.
had this addiction since '82.
This box is majority of my 2019 hits.
Nice.
Everything that I consider a hit to me, I guess, in 2019.
Heck, right now I'm working on my 2021 Series 1 tops, and I got so many of the damn things. I got the first 100 sorted, and I got the whole set 3 times, at least judging by that. I don't even know what none of them cards are worth. All I cared about was the Nico cards.
Leather number.
Oh, give me a second.
Lizardo's on here. Oh, I got that card twice.
Nice. These
are all 2019 Fernando Tatis.
So who should I be looking for in these 2021 Series 1s? I only follow my Cubs, so.
I couldn't even begin to tell you that.
I keep hearing Bohm and Mountcastle, and I got stacks of them, and I'm like, they can't be worth that much if I've got so many of them.
Claim crash. Oh, I'm glad I just seen this. I was bidding on eBay on one of these cards.
Yeah, Buster Posey, the catcher, Frisco should keep. Well, as a high school catcher, I think Buster Posey messed it up. Not allowing the guys running in from third, not allowing them to run him over no more because he was out of position.
Yeah.
I always relish a chance for this 120-pound little guy to get ran over because I didn't back down. Heck, I wouldn't let my grandma cross the plate.
They could do that. Didn't they change the rule now? Like if the catcher does crowd the plate, that they are allowed to actually hit him now?
I would hope so.
I think they did change that rule because they there was one game where he slid, but the catcher blocked the plate, and they're saying that the guy should have blew him up, like he had the right to light him up, and that was okay. Like basically, he would have been okay to blow him up.
I remember they didn't allow that in high school, and one guy ran me over. As soon as I popped up, I grabbed him by his hand and shook it as they were throwing him out the game, and I'm like, why? You know, he wasn't
Yeah, no,
he wasn't trying to hurt me.
that was all part of the game. The way I was
Yeah.
taught.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah, I was
I don't
all,
care who it is. You blocking my plate, I'm
Oh,
coming
I was an
at you.
all-star.
I'm
I was
blocking
an
his
all-star.
plate.
I played for the All-Stars, and I was a catcher, and man, you talk about I was lit up a total of 3 times. And you know what? All I could say is, you know what? Out of those 3 times, I never let go of the ball, and they were called out. So it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, heck, I'm a little guy, so I was always getting flung off the plate.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, I mean it was a big hit. Don't take me wrong, but I mean I had all the gear on and padding, but my whole objective. I mean, I think one out of the 3, I did get the wind knocked out of me. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't like I was the beast, that beast. But yeah, it hurt.
Oh, I never got hurt. Just sometimes I land a little bit further away from the plate than I would hope to.
Yeah.
But you know, when you're a little kid like I was, grew up in the hood, all I had to protect me was my damn mouth. And that's not really protection growing up where I grew up. That was usually the catalyst.
Here goes some Lewis Roberts that I got. There's that one. His Omen. Tops. I didn't even think this was a card when I first seen it. I didn't know it was like a subset or something.
You see, I even saved cards like that. I've got the old scratch off cards from '83 and everything. I kept them all. I figured they'd all be worth something one day. Figure watched all the other kids scratch them off. I'm like, nope, I'm keeping mine. Actually feels good to get some sorting done. I've been staring at these thinking, man, I got to get them done. I tell you, these group break things are going to kill me. I like go through a pile of Cincinnati Reds and then get some Cubs and then some Dodgers, and you tell which teams I never get in the breaks. I will say that much.
Oh, I got a bunch of minis.
I tell you, I've been working a lot on the 1970 top sets. Actually bought a bunch of old, they're not, well, old to some people, but a bunch of 70 tops cards, and managed to pull this beauty out of it.
Nice. Heavy.
It's in really nice shape too. I'm almost considering getting that one graded. I mean, it was mainly commons, but a few league leaders, a couple stars. I got the Sparky Anderson rookie manager out of it. I don't know if you can call that a rookie or not, but first year manager. Actually met that guy late 90s. They had a convention here in Iowa, and I ran into him at the Skywalks downtown.
The Skywatch.
Pay attention.
Dodgers.
Showing the stickers.
Oh yeah, them old upper deck stickers. I got them things all over too.
I got the things all over too.
Heck, if I was organized, I could actually tell you what cards I have. I just know I just reach into a box and pull out a handful of cards. There'll be commons and Hall of Famers all mixed in with each other. Not even sorted by team, manufacturer, or year. I think I'm more of a card hoarder than card collector.
I think all of us are a little hoarder in a sense with our cards.
Oh yeah, I have issues selling them.
Yeah, and I haven't sold one yet.
I'll give them away. I got no problem doing that.
Oh yeah.
I'll give cards away
Me
all
too.
day long, but someone says, "Hey, I'll give you $20 for that card." I'll be like, "Nope, nope, my cards ain't for sale."
So I made a video a while back, and I titled it "It isn't hoarding if it's organized," or
Well,
is
then
it?
I'm definitely hoarding.
Or is
I'm beyond unorganized.
Oh dang it.
Had them sorted out one time, and then my little brother decided he needed the boxes for his stupid Pokemon cards, and threw all mine in a freaking regular box. I still want to kick his ass when I think about it. And he's 30 years old now. He just straight threw them all in a box. Oh, it's no big deal. They're just baseball cards. Oh, really? These are actual people. Yours are just cartoon creatures.
1975.
Oh, nice. I remember when I was a kid, he got caught with a I won't say corked bat. He had it filled with super balls, and it broke when he was batting. And super balls were bouncing all over home plate. Yeah.
Yeah, this is just in a bag. I don't even know. All random stuff.
I would like to penny sleeve every card I own. Afraid I'll bend them corners. So, about penny sleeving, I was shown this little trick.
French the corners.
What's that? Well, no, there's another trick. You take a knife and you just hit the one corner, the one side, right in the crease there. And you slid it, and then when you slide your card in, bingo, and you don't have this side that you opened up will never be there to damage your card.
I remember 20 years ago,
It open.
one of my LCSs went and bought a storage unit and had nothing but ball cards in it, and all monster boxes like you got in the background there.
Right.
And he just put a bunch of numbers on them, threw the numbers in a fish bowl. I bought like 4 numbers off it, $25 each. And one of them damn things I got was full of penny sleeves and top loaders. I'm still working on them things.
Nice.
Oh yeah, everybody's like, it's a shortage. I'm like, hey, I ain't short. I was upset when I got them, but now it kind of worked out great for me.
Yeah, when I got a whole bunch too when I first started. So when the shortage happened, it really didn't affect me any because I had so much.
Oh yeah. And then a few months ago, my LCS up here now, they had these things, $10 each. limit of 4.
Oh, shoot.
So I bought 4, had my ex go in and buy 4. I went in and bought 4 more. 1983, that's the year Fred Lynn hit the All-Star Grand Slam, right?
Couldn't tell you on that one.
I think I remember that game well. Family was on vacation, and I was left in the hotel room with the younger brothers and sisters because mom and dad wanted to go out for a little bit. So the kids were all kinds of upset. I was insisted on watching the damn ball game. I was going to have my vacation sitting in a hotel room. I was going to at least enjoy it. Fred Lynn hit the Grand Slam.
Nice.
Right on the very bottom of the stack. Wonder how many of them I have in here. And it was covering the Mount Castle. That must have been a good pack.
Clark bars. That's from Upper Deck.
Yay, first stack's done. Now part 2.
And that's you're separating 2021? 2020.
These are 2021s.
Okay.
Getting them by number because I'm a set builder. Get one set sorted out, and the rest just go in my box. Figure one day they'll pay for my grandkid college education whenever my son decides to have one. Well, his wife's got to decide too, but y'all know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a group effort.
Yeah, you can't do it on your own, or else I'd have a bajillion kids growing around.
Okay.
How in the hell did I only have one Machado? Wow.
Never watched The Fact of Life.
God, when I was a kid, that was the show everybody watched.
Tell you the truth, I was growing up. I didn't have cable, didn't have a black box. Really didn't watch too much TV. I was more playing baseball, rollerblading, skateboarding, playing games.
Well, hell,
And then
by the time Facts of Life came out, or I was watching it, God, it was 84, 85 maybe. Those kids weren't allowed TV either growing up.
Yeah.
Had to sneak and watch it at other people's houses.
Yeah, and then like I was also, only had one TV in his house. Like, if I go to my friend's house and they had TVs in their parents' room, or maybe one in their room. But my house, there was only one TV until probably the 2000s, and then it wasn't even.
I understand. And our TV only had our home TV only had 2 channels. Whatever channel damn Star Trek was on, and whatever channel Dad was watching the news. That was it.
The news, yeah.
Yep, that was it. That was all we watched. To this day, I can't stand Star Trek. My dad used to make me watch it as punishment.
Those were the good days. I remember going to like Save Mart or Food for Less and running in and getting the TV guide and looking to see what time Sinbad and Martin came on.
Oh, hell, I was an old man by then.
Yeah.
Yeah. See the gray? Yeah.
But I still remember TV guides.
Oh, I do too. I do too. My grandma collected them, and she'd get pissed if you did the crossword puzzle. Ooh, she'd get pissed.
Chris Davis. Forget who he went to, but I don't think he plays for the A's no more.
No, I don't think he does.
Does he even still play?
I don't know, but he had a horrible last 2019 or 2020, whatever it was with us.
Yeah, boy was hitting like I was.
Yeah, he couldn't hit the ball if it was freaking on a tee.
Yeah, that's about where I'm at. I was always a defensive guy. Couldn't hit for shit. I swear to God, Cat, I will beat you if you don't quit your bullshit.
Mine's gave up and went to sleep.
Oh no, mine are nocturnal.
This was a cool acetate card that I got for Vlad Guerrero.
Vladdy.
Yeah, Vladdy Daddy.
You know, I got all these damn Series 1 tops, and I've yet to find any damn short prints. I can't find for crap.
Juan Gonzalez.
You could buy cigarettes at 10 years old.
Dog baseball.
I remember them days.
Oh yeah, I'd go to the
store and buy them for my mother.
hand the guy the note, and he'd hand you a brown paper bag and go home, take it home. Sometimes it would even be a grocery list.
Have a note. Back then, it was legal to go buy them.
Showing cards that are already organized. And my Donnie Baseball 101 autograph.
See, I ain't got any 101s. Well, I got one, but it's that damn honest bonus card. Or whatever those were called. I don't even know if you can count them as a 101. You say it's a 101, but you find 4 or 5 of that very same card.
All right. Yeah, this is my only 101 that I have that's probably worth anything. I have other 101s, printing plates and stuff like that of like.
Well, I got the Randy
Kids.
Arozarena printing plate for Topps Chrome in my hunt for all that, and I sold it, and then the playoffs happened. Yeah. Kind of missed the boat on that one. Wife was all excited. I got $100 for it, and I'm still salty about only getting 100 for it.
Right.
But that's okay. She's gone, so I ain't got to worry about her opinion with my cards no more.
On to the next one.
Oh, hell, that was number 2. Whose signature was that?
It was Glaber Ferguson.
Labor.
I thought for a second it was a Biggio. I'm like, wait a minute, that don't look like Craig Biggio's signature.
That's a fraud. I remember when I got my heart broken in high school, and I told my dad about it. He goes, "Boy, you better suck up, quit worried about her, because God didn't stop making pussy when He made hers." Excuse my language, but yeah.
That was my mother's opinion. Yeah.
And I sat there and I thought about it for a little bit, and I said, "You're right, Dad."
Like when I was 12 years old, it was the first time my mom told me even bad pussy still pussy.
Is that the truth?
Well, I wish it was, because I tell you what, I dove into some bad ones.
So we're the only species that spends 9 months of our life trying to get out of it, and the rest of our lives trying to get back into it.
Yep.
Well, I figure after marriage number 2, I find my way into it too many times.
The Bar Rally, congratulations. You have received a piece of the past rally card from 2019 Bar piece of the past one-time edition. The card features a unique relic from Nolan Ryan.
Nolan Ryan relic. There you go. I got one.
A Bar Rally. I don't know what bar he went to, but
I like that.
So he
got his
signed
verification sticker still. But look at this verification sticker now. It's right there, and then it doesn't even go all the way to the back. It barely gets it over the card. Valid.
Still got one though. Still got it.
Yep.
Yeah, I'd love a Nolan Ryan autograph. I don't have any of them.
I got that from Wicked Discounts, I believe. Here goes one of them sticker autographs.
Heck, the only real Hall of Famer autograph I even have left, thanks, Mom. My Frank Robinson. And I ended up winning that one in a, oh God, it was in a group break from somewhere. I had the letter R. I managed to get that. I was hoping for a Ruth, but, you know, Frank Robinson ain't bad.
Nope. Not bad at all.
I want to say it's like a 1 of 10 or something like that. Give me a second, I'll go check.
Sticker auto Pete Alonso. Autograph, I think I'm looking for Shohei Ohtani and Mike Trout.
It's a 3 of 10. I don't know if you can see it because of my damn lighting.
Oh yeah, I can see it. That's nice. Almost looks like leather and lumber.
Historic autograph, the decade 60s edition.
Nice.
Number 3 out of 10.
Out of 10, nice. I like the serial number cards, the low ones. But that's only if there's really a limited amount of them. Because like you said, there's some that have numbers on them, and then there's a whole print still of them.
Yeah.
Just don't got the number on them. So,
I mean, I may because one of the guys I know collects serial number 3 out of 10, and I may just end up sending that to him just because it's 3 out of 10. Just broke my damn table.
the cards weigh a lot.
No, man, my table's an antique Davis sewing machine.
Oh
And
shit!
I just knocked the treadle right off of it.
Oh man, my great grandma had one of those in her house. Passed away. We sold that thing for like $600.
I'm not gonna.
I don't even think the sewing machine worked in the dang thing. No,
Oh,
it
my
was.
sewing machine works great. The wood around it is in shape. Oh, my cast iron's great.
Oh, there we go. Came back. No, yeah, I think it needed like a power. No, was it a power cord? No, because
Heck,
I think you just pushed the wheel. I think it needed like one of those new wheel things because I think it was like or yeah, you hit the wheel and that's what would start the thing or some shit. I don't know. It was an old damn.
Mine's
I was
foot
surprised.
operated. It don't have no damn electric cord to it.
Okay, so that it was the foot pedal thing that needed to be replaced or needed to work or some shit, and it didn't have it.
Yeah, I just knocked mine off.
Sewing machine.
Oh, my damn Pepsi, there it is.
What? Oh, I think this is my football box. Yep. One touch with the black borders. Just looks right for a Raider card.
Nice.
Is that Bo? I couldn't tell.
No, that was Tim Brown.
You see, I never was a Bo Jackson fan. I mean, I seen him play in the minors, and my first big league game was in '85 when he got called up. Maybe he played in the '86 game. I don't remember which. But I couldn't stand Bo Jackson. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, now y'all know why I didn't like him. Stupid war pigeons or whatever in the hell they want to call their team.
Oh, war pigeon.
Ah, come on, quit.
I think this is the box with my Tiffany cards in it, if I'm not mistaken. I just don't know where at. Oh, look, unopened.
What the hell are you eating, cat? Are you stupid? She just peeled a paint chip off my freaking door and was eating it. Damn cat eats paint chips. My God, animal.
200 one of ones, 70 or so aren't plates. Nice.
Wow, look what I just came across. All unopened.
Ooh, you better wipe it off.
Got some Heritage. Some Diamond King. Gypsy Queen. 2019 Topps Gallery. Big League Baseball, Major League 2020. 2019. Yeah, I haven't purchased anything for 2021, I don't think.
I'm a set builder. I pick one set a year. Last year I lied and I built 3. This year I'm just trying to stick with the flagship tops because I grew up on tops.
Oh, okay.
Even back when Tops was losing the war with Don Russ. I stayed loyal to him.
Nice, nice. Well, I just started collecting in 2019, so I went all over the place with relics and number cards and signatures and a whole bunch.
Oh, sure, sure. A nice relic or signature will snap my head quicker than a nice butt, but
But like I said, since 2019, from 2019 to now, every card that I've purchased, I have not sold or traded to anybody. It's in my collection. So yeah.
Well, honestly, I think you're lucky that you just started now. That way, you ain't got that many you can keep sorted.
Yeah, no,
I got
it is a
tens of
blessing.
thousands of them damn things I got to get sorted.
Like I see
I'm
Boom.
looking at months and months and months worth of work.
Yeah, when I look at Booms, I always feel great about my collection because these are the biggest they come in is just shoe boxes.
Oh no, I get all mine sorted out and put away properly. It's going to look like his background.
There you go.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually gotta move out of this room. I just got in here. It's not big enough.
No
Believe
way.
me, I understand it. That's why I can't wait to get my mom or my dad's house because they've got 3 rooms that'd be a perfect size for my ball cards.
Yeah, I gotta put.
Nice.
I think I'm gonna let my son move down in here, make this his room, and because it's bigger than his bedroom, and I'll take the room upstairs, his bedroom, and turn it into the studio, and my other son's bedroom, who is no longer here, who I had a bunch of my cards in before. I'll just start putting them all back in there again. But I still have like 1,000,000 cards inside the house that I haven't managed to fit in here.
Dude, I got them in my kitchen and in my bathroom. It's bad.
Yeah, but it's not hoarding as long as they're organized. So
Yeah, and I'm straight hoarding then. That's all there is to that.
Hmm.
Maybe one day I'll get them all sorted out. And by that time, I figure I have like another 10 minutes to live. And all I got sorted out is my one set for every year.
Oh yeah, one set for every year.
Yeah. Used to get the set for Christmas every year from 86 on until my stepmom discovered I truly enjoyed that. That's all I wanted for Christmas. I didn't care about anything else. And she realized I liked them, so she went a different route with it. Damn it.
Cornet connection. What's going on, brother? Yes, you do. Oh, nice. He's probably back at work then.
Are you serious?
Need to stop being lazy and do some sorting.
Yeah, I just found a little bit of Mike Trout's.
I picked up a bunch of Mike Trouts the other day, and I passed on some today.
I don't know. I probably should start buying singles of that Mike Trout guy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Usually save my singles buying for the vintage crap.
I got this one today. I paid the guy said I could have it for $15, so I bought it. It's like a 2013 Trout Prism.
That's a nice one.
These were eBay purchases. I forget what I paid for them, but it was like $5 or something like that. The Trout base and his in-action cards.
Heck, I tried selling a couple cards on eBay. Sold a couple that my wife picked up, or ex. Then they took their 10% off the top, and then we got a bill at the end of the month for another 10%. And I'm like, what the hell?
What the hell? I've yet to sell anything on eBay. I was thinking about it, starting a eBay store and just listing like the teams that I don't collect and the players.
My problem with that is I'd only sell Mets cards. Everybody else I consider a baseball team. Even them damn Cardinals.
Cardinals actually beat us today too, the A's.
Oh, my apologies.
It's all right. They played like crap. They were asking to get their ass whipped today.
As a Cubs fan, I cannot stand them Cardinals.
Yeah, I don't like the St. Louis Cardinals either.
Never really have liked them. I mean, I had mad
Me
respect
neither.
for Ozzie Smith. That was about it.
Yeah, true. That's it.
And personally, I preferred him as a Padre.
Oh, so I got some more Fernando Tatis. All the same. Three of these.
So here's
Oh, I remember this.
here's the trots I bought the last about a week ago, all off the same guy. Actually, it's over a couple of weekends. For $1,
Nice.
for $2, $1.
Actually, I'm close to getting that Bowman set built. My problem is I bought 2 boxes, didn't get one single Dominguez. Yeah,
Nice.
not a one.
The nice trout set. You got that all in the same set or same purchase?
Yep, all for the same guy.
Nice.
They're all $1 and $2 cards.
Oh, dear Lord.
Yeah, I don't have that Bo Jackson. That one where he was hiding behind the glasses that you showed earlier.
Anybody ever tell you why his name was Bo? His mom couldn't spell Bob.
I think his name is Vincent. His first name is Vince.
It is.
Vince Edward Jackson, I believe, isn't it?
Vincent Edward Jackson. Yep. The thing he ever did caught my attention was run over Brian Bosworth.
Got
Oh, so
Bob's
these are
attention too.
both 89, but different.
Right. One's the one with the thing on the corner was, I forget what they used those for out there. What they came in. Those there, yeah, that one.
Grade Slammer or something like that. Grand Slammer.
Yeah.
Grand Slammers. Yeah.
Oh, I remember them.
I would say they're the same year but different.
Yeah, it was like a subset back in the days before they called them inserts.
Oh, okay.
Like, I remember when getting a card number serial numbered out of 10,000 was a big hit.
Yeah, my grandpa had some of those in his collection. They were like number 28 of like 11,000 or something like that, or like 1,999.
Yeah, and used to get so excited over getting that. And now it's like, really? You know, you can do better
Yeah.
than that.
Huh, right. This was actually my first thick card that I got, and it was one of Cal Ripken.
I was always a fan of his.
Yeah.
He was my first favorite player.
My God. And those are all from the same purchase, Trout?
Yep. All from the.
Man.
Hey, that's the way to do it, man. If I could find a cheap go horn a lot like that, I'm all over it.
And you guys find these lots on eBay?
No, this was a guy at the flea market.
Oh, okay. So you got a flea market. That's nice.
Yep.
Last time I went to the flea market, this one lady had a stack of Mickey Mantles for $100, and I had $90 in my pocket, and she wouldn't come down.
That's hard.
Oh my God! I swear to God, I had a heart attack. I left there and went straight to the damn hospital. I worked up over that. I always thought it was going to be my Cubs that killed me, not a damn Mickey Mantle card.
The baby shark card.
Baby shark.
Got the googly eyes. Googly eyes. Woo, still got lots to go through in this box.
Oh, I need to get more boxes. That's my problem. If I got money to buy card boxes, I got money to buy wax.
All right.
There you go. You gotta choose, because when I buy my boxes, I buy them in bundles of 25 5,000 count boxes, and that's like $90 right there.
Yep.
Just away. If I buy,
I'm going to be able to get them for $1.99.
penny sleeves, I buy by the case, 10,000 at a time. That's another $90. Pissed away. Used to be like $50. If I buy top loaders, geez, I just put in an order for my buddy at work. I didn't even get involved in this one. $165 for 1,000 regular top loaders.
Wow.
$165.
I'm in. I just might want to start throwing mine in some team bags, selling them on eBay or something.
Yeah.
But the second I do, that's going to be the second I need them.
There you go.
I suffer from that disease. Can't get rid of nothing because I need it as soon as I do. I just know that's what's going to happen.
Oh, I know I do. Anyone have the 1987 Bo Jackson rated rookie from Leaf? Oh, rated rookie from Leaf? Oh.
Don Russ. I don't have any of the Leaf ones.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know if I have the Leaf one.
I just remember when I was a kid, the Leaf ones were the cheap ones. So I never understood why, because I always thought you had to go to Canada to get them.
I have some 87 Leaf, but I don't know if I have the Jackson or not.
Let me see. Do I already have these in order? 94? Not 90.
Well, you can certainly tell I get the Cubs a lot in breaks.
Score. Tops.
Oh, okay. I only had one card of the 116. I didn't realize it was Nico. I guess I've been pulling all his cards out and setting them in. Oh, good thing I left one in here. I'd have freaked out if I was missing. My freak outs all over ball cards ain't nothing pretty.
So as a set collector, what do you do with the other cards that you have doubles of, or that are just?
I put them in a box, my underwear drawer, in the kitchen, top of the fridge, wherever I have room
That's
for
it.
them. Wherever I
They
have
just go
room for
sign
them.
wherever they got room.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, about every 2 or 3 years, I'll make up a bunch of little packs and give them out for Halloween. Give kids a choice of candy or ball.
There you
Oh,
go.
okay, that's good.
Not too many take the ball cards. I really have. Could be worse. Could be like where I grew up, man. They gave out toothbrushes and apples.
Right. I remember that one.
Or little stacks
I
of
grew
like
up in a
5
small
and
town. I
10
swear
pennies.
everybody was either a teacher or a dentist.
That's teacher or dentist, either giving out pencils and erasers or toothbrushes and toothpaste.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Well, I think I was halfway through high school before I ran out of my Halloween toothbrushes. See, I mean, I really think I like the flagships this year just because of that silver foil 70 logo up on top. I don't know why. That's just really got me for them. Oh my God, I'm an idiot. Okay. Shit. I wasn't paying attention to what I'm doing. I sorted these all.
I didn't realize that. Dang, I got 4 of these.
My God, pay attention to what you're doing, Jason.
All right, guys. I hate to cut this off, but it's 4:15,
Yeah, I was gonna. I
and
was going to.
I am
Wow,
at the
yes.
end of my YouTube rope for the day.
I'm getting
But I
there
want to thank
too.
you.
Hey man, do what you got to do.
Yep. I want to thank you guys for
Yes.
coming by and hanging out, chit
Oh, yeah.
chatting. I want to thank everyone else out there for stopping by and chatting and hitting the thumbs up, all that good stuff. Don't forget to go over and subscribe to each other and help lift each other up at their channels and promote them and help them grow. I appreciate it. And we'll see you guys in the next one. All right. It's
All
Boomslang
Peace.
right.
signing
Enjoy
out saying,
yourselves out there, guys. I seem to have frozen.
no, your lips are moving.
You're good.
Our Posada's freezing off and on too. All right, guys. I'll see you
Peace.
later. Thanks
Good
again.
night.
Good night, everyone. James, good night.
Later,
Cornette,
y'all.
good night. Josh, good night. Henry, good night. Appreciate it. Constipated in Sin City, thank you for stopping by. Let's see.
Gotta
Who
say, I
else?
love that name.
Constipated in Sin City. There you go.
Yeah.
Yep. And a
Shit in
host of
Vegas.
others who stopped by tonight. Paul D was here tonight. Appreciate it. A whole bunch of people. Troy's Cards and Cars. A whole bunch of people. Thanks again. And we'll see you guys around the channels. Peace, guys.
All right, later, y'all.
All right. Good night.